Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom!
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes.
If he's not there already, do you think? I was a little bit floored by the amount of gadgets he was bringing. Was that the right amount for you or too much?
No, I need phone. That's about it.
Phone, yeah. So
maybe a charger.
If you were going on that trip, you're bringing. Obviously, yeah, that. But what would be the necessity? Phone is number one.
Phone, headphones.
Headphones are huge. I got some pretty nice headphones a while back, and that felt like a game changer. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to spend on these nice noise canceling, and then you can Bluetooth it with your phone, and you're like, oh,
that's what I need to get a pair of.
I'm good.
But then, I always lose my headphones, so I never want to pay a lot for headphones.
Yeah, but do you think you would if they're I lose the buds more than I do?
I can't even do the buds.
Yeah, because over time, it feels like they hurt. So it's more like these, but they're probably a little sturdier and no cord, obviously. And they come in a case, so I feel like knock on wood, I feel like I wouldn't lose them, but it's also one of those I can't lose them.
But you fly way more than me, so
yeah. I guess, but I feel
yes.
How many trips a year would you say? Okay, let me see if I can guess an over under, and this is gonna be totally unfair, of an average of flights for you a year. If I put at 4?
Oh, way under.
Under?
I might get 1 or 2.
Okay. But I feel like if you fly, you're not, I'm going to LA. That's rare for you. You will every once in a while, right? But you have trips.
Yeah.
You fly.
Because
you didn't drive to Boise last year, did you?
No, we flew to Boise.
Yeah. But that's not super far, but
it's an hour.
Yeah.
To drive, it was what? 6 hours, 6 or 7 hours?
No, it would have been more than that to Boise.
Oh, 8? Oh.
Yeah, way more than that. Yeah, what's the number would you rather drive or fly?
Depends. It depends on where. I think my max would be Portland and San Diego.
Okay, and those are roughly, Portland might be a tad more. But yeah, what's that? 8-9 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it gets a little bit more uncomfortable. It also depends on who you're with, what the options are, how long you're going to be there. I love to drive. I'm not afraid to fly. I've always liked flying, but if I could drive, we've driven, I've told you this, we've driven as a family to New Orleans before. It's a trek. There's no doubt about it. The downside besides, the only downside, honestly, to me is it generally cuts down on our time there.
Yeah.
And back, a lot of your travel time is travel time. So
I have done the drive to Vegas once, and the drive to Vegas is cool. It's like, oh, this is fun. You're all excited for Vegas.
Coming home.
Coming home, it's just like, this sucks. And I don't want to be here. And how come we've got 8 more hours to go?
Yeah. I feel like driving home always is faster, even though the excitement level of going is to usually what you're doing.
I've the complete opposite.
Really?
It always feels like it takes longer to get home.
Even if it's like, well, I've seen this place. Oh yeah, we went through here. Oh, we're already here. I don't know. That doesn't feel like the way for you?
No.
Maybe because you're sad because you're coming home.
Yeah. Well, it feels like you talk about that. It's just like, wait, where is that one place we passed? Did we pass it already?
Or if then you think you have, and then it's like an hour and a half later, we're getting there now. Oh,
the worst is when you see the signs. When you see like the sign coming up, like, we probably have got like about 80 more miles, and it says 140.
Yeah, 210. Oh no. Yeah. Are you if you do drive on a distance like that, are you a stopper or just go?
I feel like just go.
Yeah.
Like if it was just me, just like get there
Just power through.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're pretty much power through. Let's go. I mean, if there's something to see or people to see, certainly we'll stop. But like, we're on the way. We're seeing this family member or this friend or whatever. But let's go. Snacks, food in the car, gas and bathroom all in one stop, and we're gone. So I want to see if you share in this theory I was discussing with my wife yesterday. We were out and about. She said, and I don't have the figure. She said some sort of number she heard where, and I see in here, we got I think Chris Watkins brought in these lovely little pumpkins, David S. pumpkins, that I want to say she said 67%, something like that, of households with or without kids are decorating for Halloween, buying candy, so on and so on and so forth. I thought there's no way. That's like 7 out of 10 houses are having decorations. And then we were on our walk, and I'm like, no. Oh. It was like that gif of that lady that's like, no. Well. So do more people decorate for Halloween than Christmas? In some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think so, but as I was walking around our neighborhood, I went, you know what? I'm going to have to now see at Christmas time.
I would say in my neighborhood, no.
Okay, but
and
are
a couple
a lot
of
people doing Halloween?
I would say everyone doing Halloween does Christmas stuff.
That's what I felt, but then I that's what I mean. I need to.
And I can't think of any that like a lot. There's like a few of the houses around my neighborhood that are like the Nightmare Before Christmas decorations.
Okay.
So they're keeping that up throughout for the rest of the year.
From here. I got you.
Yeah.
So they've already, this is their decorating, and they'll just keep it going. I mean, the candy part, that I get, but I don't know if that's.
I've actually seen a lot more of like these skeleton families pop up.
Yes. That, and there's been a lot more witches in our neighborhood, like just on the lawn, or you're right, on the skeletons, like half bodies coming through. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And we've had in our neighborhood a couple of like giant, I don't know, for lack of a better, like Jurassic Park size, like just massive. Like that's like a 25-foot skeleton. Where'd they get that?
Home Depot.
Really?
That became like a big thing the last few years.
Okay, but like a lot. Oh, I can't. I mean, when I'm saying a lot, I've seen probably 5 of those in our neighborhood.
Yeah,
and that seems like a lot. I hadn't seen that. I mean, and they're massive. I was like, where do you keep that? I guess in the garage. But I'll have to see. But it feels like I felt like my instincts tell me more people decorate for Christmas. But obviously, I know people celebrate different holidays there. Whereas Halloween is, you're either, I mean, everybody knows what that date is, and it probably either means something to them or not, I guess. But I didn't feel like that was accurate, but maybe it is.
I think I've gotten more into Halloween as I gotten older.
Isn't that weird? It's more, it felt like a kid's
but
thing.
As a kid, we went trick-or-treating. I think we kind of stopped. I was the youngest cousin, so the other cousins would get like age out of it, and I by de facto got aged out of it.
Yeah, because you were kind of adamant the other day when Dave was talking about it with his, like, you're like, that's way too old. Weren't you were like closer to like 12?
No, I was like probably 8 or 9.
No, but I mean, you were saying like
12
or 10 is even like the cutoff. That felt young to me when you said that.
Yeah, I've like the thought of like going to high school and going trick-or-treating just doesn't even seem right.
Well, and I feel like when I remember as a kid, when you got to high school, there were some people like, I'm going trick-or-treating, and then there were a portion of people like, what? like people would make fun of you.
Like, I can't even think of any of my friends that did it.
I don't remember either, and I don't
like it wasn't even just
stopped.
like, oh yeah, and like someone going like, oh, do you guys want to go trick or treating, or oh, I am going. Like, I don't think that thought even crossed our minds.
Yeah, I can't.
I would even say like 8th, 7th grade.
Yeah, I feel like I know there was a time, and I'm guessing it's 6th, 7th, 8th, somewhere in that range, where it had turned into, yeah, I'm trick or treating, but like I'm older, bigger, I can move. Like I'm gonna get to so many houses. Is where it turned into from like at some point. And I feel like that was about 7th grade. Maybe it's like, look at, we'll cover all this neighborhood. We'll get so much candy. And then at some point, then you're like, yeah.
Like I've never gone trick-or-treating by myself or with friends or anything like that. Like without a parent or like an aunt or
so
something.
You were young.
Yeah.
And here's how different our, I don't remember going with a parent. Just go. Just get out of here. Go get some candy and have fun. Times have changed.
Yeah. Well, then I was through I was the generation of like, hey, we have to go through your candy because people are always putting things in candy and stuff, which like never happened.
And what was it? Allegedly razor blades.
It was razor blade. Yeah, it was razor blades. That's what
we were getting. Razor blades in our candy.
Yeah,
was the fear. Then why are you looking at the little, Starburst mints, or not Starburst, the Star mints or whatever? And those
it's always like I heard it from somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah, and so it's happened, and so it's in your bag, and so we got to clear that out. And you're like, really? I have a razor blade in here. Now I think in our neighborhood, it's kids will come to the door, and sometimes I'm like, wow, that's a really small kid, and then you'll see like 20 feet down, oh, there's mom or dad or whatever, and say thank you, and then you walk in the neighborhood, or you just walk around and you see people like, wow, the amount of parents that are walking through the neighborhood just drinking. It's like, oh, this is just a social gathering for the parents, and yeah, my kid's dressed up as a ghost or whatever. I mean, this is so it kind of fits for all, I guess, but you said you don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters.
No.
Yeah, we're in the same spot. It's like we have a lot of people that come into our general neighborhood, but we're on one portion of where we happen to be. It's like the one street people don't go to. I don't know. We're just on this little kind of a curve where, like, when you get to our little frontage road, it's just like, it looks dark down there. And it doesn't help. The houses on each end are dark.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're right in the middle. It's like, well, we have candy, we have lights, we have our Halloween stuff set up. It's like, come down here. It's like, man, we'll get our neighbors, and they're kind of aging out. And we're lucky to get 1 to 2. And then, so if you come by our house, you get 30 pieces of candy. Because like, well, I don't want all this stuff. We get far too much. But I don't know. And you were anti leave the bowl out.
No, I'm not that. But when people complain about like, oh, someone stole it, just like, I hate the idea of just like, oh, what do you want me to do about it? Like, well, that's a possibility.
It is very much a possibility. Where are you on the people that like in our neighborhood? We have people that set up houses and then try to, they make it scary, and then people like do their haunted house-ish kind of thing. There
was one house on our street. This is years ago that had one of those, or it was just like a wooden like hallway type of thing, like into the garage. I'm like, there's no way I would ever let a kid in there.
Exactly. You're never coming back. Boombox Benny. I think the razor blade thing happened like once in the history of Halloween, so it was a thing. Probably.
And I want to say it was like, I have heard the story, and it was something that happened, but it was also like an inside the house situation. Like it wasn't a stranger giving it to somebody.
Right. So it was a plant. It's a trap. Anyway, well, I'm going to do my informal survey. I've checked our neighborhood. Halloween decorations, solid. We'll see.
Sir, why are you walking around the neighborhood with a piece of paper, writing
just taking
things?
Notes. Love your fireplace. Like the way you decorated the front lawn. Those flowers look beautiful. What kind are they? Oh, and nice decorations. It's just notepad. House number 11. Okay. Taking notes. Police. All right, break time for us. When we come back, we're going to get the Thursday show started. Hey, it's Thursday, October 17th. I told you we're a week away from the NBA starting. You know what we're returning to today? The return of Sam Amick. Sam is back. We also have Kelly Brothers.
Shamelessly pumping the poll here.
Whoa. Sam will do that, I think. Kelly Brothers will join us at 7:30.
Good business.
And we've got all our regular staples that you hopefully love and enjoy. And we're glad you're here for us this morning. When we come back, we'll lead it all off next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings
Out
game.
of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating
Sacktown.
and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Let's do it. Leading off, the three top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number one.
All right, before we get to cut number one, going back to our YouTube chatters, we appreciate everybody there this morning. Good morning to all of you. Also, those of you on the text line, 916-339-1140. Phone lines, 1-800-920-1140. Let's see. Chris believes third graders are too old to trick or treat. Third grade?
How old are you in third grade?
9?
9?
8, 9?
Yeah, that's fine. I said 12 is when I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
That's your baseline.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say when you start to get to middle school. That's when you should start that thing.
Yeah, and, I think the weirdest thing about kids and anybody that's had kids, or obviously we all grew up here, the variance at, I think junior high is the peak, maybe high school, the peak variance where you literally could have a 4'6" kid and about a 6' kid, and you're like, they're the same age. What's happening here?
I remember middle school was like right when you didn't get recess anymore. It's like, what?
Yeah. Why? Yeah. But I mean, you could have friends. You're like, whoa, how old are they? They're my age. Why? Because he's 6 foot, 150 pounds, and you're 4'8" and 85 pounds. Well, I haven't grown yet. It's coming, hopefully. All right, let's get to cut number one.
For De'Aaron Fox, it is the 26th time this season that he scored in double figures in the fourth quarter. McDermott, quick release for three, and when he gets it going, you better look out. He just nailed back-to-back three-pointers. Mike Brown takes a timeout. It's 115-111.
Dougie McBuckets. Doug McDermott, as you're described there by the G-Man. When he gets it going, watch out. The Sacramento Kings have added a new player to the roster yesterday, acquiring Doug McDermott, a veteran, a shooter, a bench shooter, I would say, for this team. We will discuss throughout the show how he can help, where his role will be, what his role will be, and maybe that's all not defined yet. But I would say one of the preseason themes we've been talking about is the Kings will play their final preseason game tonight. The Kings haven't shot the ball very well. I think you always will take more shooting. I've seen the comments. I've heard the concerns. Oh, great. More shooting. Where's the size, the depth, the length, the defense? Yeah. Fair. More than fair of a question. I don't know that you're filling that on October 17th as the season is a few days away from starting. But I think the Kings did add more talent and someone that can help their team. That would be the long and short of it. But did it fix the holes and the flaws that might be in the roster to begin the season? No. But I think it helped amplify an area that any team and every team should want more of in shooting. So when you got people that can put the ball in the bucket, yes, you need people that can stop people from doing that. And it's not as simple as, well, just outscore teams. That's, you can outscore on certain nights. You can outshoot your problems. It doesn't happen every night, but there'll be some nights the Kings will. There will be. And overall, I still think there's a tremendous amount of talent on this roster, and I think they made an upgrade there. But we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. And I think when you add more talent, that generally is a boost to your roster. But we got much more on that throughout the show. We'll also ask Sam Amick about the impact of that as he joins us at 8 o'clock. Let's get to cut number 2.
The Dodgers efforting insurance. They lead 4-0 here in Game 3. Shohei 16 for his last 19 with runners in scoring position. That's where Smith is on second. The pitch is hit high in the air, right field, hooking toward the pole, and this ball is fair and gone. Shohei Ohtani unloads a 3-run home run here in the top of the 8th inning. His second of the postseason makes it 7-0 LA.
You heard the call there about his stats with runners in scoring position are ridiculous. He hasn't been hitting when nobody's on, but in back-to-back days, you had Judge finally homer, Shohei homer, two of the biggest stars in baseball, and that was an absolute bomb. That game was probably over already, but that was the add-on, the dagger for Game 3 as the Dodgers regained advantage of that series, take a 2-1 series advantage, and Shohei with the bomb. And the Dodgers now 2 wins away from getting to the World Series. Games 4 and 5 will still be in New York. Feel like those become both must-wins for the Mets as the Game 4 is coming up later today. All right, let's get to cut number 3.
Cut number 3.
Single receiver left. Nix takes a low snap. Throws the sluggo route right side. Sutton goes up and makes the catch. Sutton came down with the ball. No signal yet. The officials are going to talk about it. Touchdown.
All right, we got Thursday night football. Some storylines, though, from this one, as it's the Broncos and Saints on the surface. But it's football. It's Thursday night. It's a new week at the end of it. Wow, how did we get here, Chris? We're already here. Can you believe it?
Unbelievable.
How did we get to week 7 already? Man, first there's week 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we're at week 7. We're already here. But tonight's storyline, Sean Payton, the former Saints coach, returning to New Orleans to take on, as his Broncos take on the New Orleans Saints. Saints, remember when they were 2-0? Yeah, I do. And they were just waxing everybody their first 2 games. Well, they've lost every game since. The Broncos, meanwhile, got off to a slow start, but they've been better as of late. So for Thursday night, neither team I have huge expectations for, but obviously there's still a lot of football to go. We're basically a third of the way through the NFL season. And so tonight gets us started for week 7. And also today we got a lot to cover from the NFL besides that game. It's Chiefs week for the 49ers. We'll get into that and much more. But tonight's Thursday night game, it's a good sports day. Really, later when we get into what to watch, you've got baseball in the afternoon and early evening. You've got Thursday night football and tonight Kings basketball. So all that time during the summer when we were making our way on our charm and personality, entertaining you for 4 hours every morning. He says jokingly, hopefully. Hopefully we were. But now we've got all this stuff to talk about. And now's the time Dave took to go to London. This is the time. He was waiting for this. Like, Chris, today's Dave's day. We've got
a shameful performance.
We've got perfect weather for you and him. We've got everything going on.
Is it bad that I'm still wearing shorts?
I did. Is shorts and a sweatshirt, like, that's like a little bit of a warning. Like, yeah, it's a little chilly. But
that's like 100% Californian too.
Oh, 100%. But this feels like my uniform to me. This would be like, we're talking about school. I don't know. I don't know what my streak was. I don't know if I ever wore pants to school.
Wow, nice.
I mean, I just didn't. It was like
my uncle in Ohio now. He lived there for a long time where it gets cold. It snows every once in a while. When he moved to California, when they moved to California here for about 4 or 5 years, he never wore pants.
Yeah. I mean, I do now. I do quite a bit, but I used to, just never. It's like, why? I mean, anyway, for me, my rule of thumb, I'll get cold more on the top or my arms or something or head, but not, my legs just rarely get cold. So if you're shorts and you're warm enough, so you didn't have a sweatshirt?
No.
This is your weather.
Well, like the temperature has been like wonky in the control room. So,
well, and the other thing too is like, I think the other day I did have sweatshirts and pants on. And then like, when I walked out, I go, oh gosh, because we get here so early in the morning, it's fine. But then the second you leave, if you leave after 10:30 or 11 and you're like, oh, it's really warm out.
It depends on where you are in this building.
That's
like
true.
If you're in the stairway, it's just a cauldron.
Yeah. Well, and the weirdest thing, this studio is weird. So almost every day Dave comes in and he's like, is it hot? I go, no, because in that chair specifically, I don't know, the air just blasts right
this
there.
Chair too.
Yeah. And so I experienced it during Kings games, like today and tonight when we're in here, like I'll be over here maybe in just a t-shirt and shorts, and Henry and Deuce will be layered up. I'm like, it's not even, but it's just warmer over here than it is on that side. Anyway, he's missing out on his perfect weather. I'm sure he's got it there in London. When we come back, last night, we already kind of talked about what had happened in Major League Baseball and what's going on today. We got Kings basketball. We also discussed the start of the NFL week tonight. But last night, what a game in the WNBA Finals. We'll discuss some of those things and where this league continues to go and to just have a banner year. An incredible finish last night. We'll discuss that and some more. Safe or out still to come in this hour as we continue right here on Sacktown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings. There's no need to be scared of auto maintenance this October. Your local Jiffy Lube has just the treats you need without the tricks, like fast oil changes or wiper blades for the upcoming rainy season. Serving greater Sacramento area customers since 1984 with over 30 convenient locations to choose from. Open daily, early at 7:30 and open past 6 p.m. at most locations. Just visit jiffylube.com to find a location near you and valuable coupons to save money too.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Kyle Draper. Equip your staff with top-notch uniforms, professionally cleaned and delivered weekly to your workplace by Alsco Uniforms, proud sponsors of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. Our services include uniforms, towels, floor mats, mops, first aid supplies, and restroom essentials to uphold cleanliness and safety standards in your business. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Visit alsco.com to learn more. Again, visit alsco.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Most tax pros leave a message.
It's Jane. I'm moving on to a TurboTax expert who beat your price. Adam Devine, tell him how I feel.
Hey, tax pro, she's been thinking twice. Best believe TurboTax will beat your price. This is a tax break.
Switch to a TurboTax Live expert and we'll beat what you paid your pro last tax season. Make the switch at turbotax.com/beatyourprice. TurboTax full service only. Sign up by 12/20/2024 and file by 4/1/2025. Full details at turbotax.com/beatyourprice.
Jeff Lynn's ELO.
Mr. Blue Sky, tell us why.
Live in concert in Sacramento. The Over and Out Tour. Jeff Lynn's ELO, the final tour, all the hits. Live at Golden One Center, October 23rd. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
O'Reilly. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts in West Sacramento in Town Center Plaza next to Nugget Markets now through October 29th for the Customer Appreciation Day sale. You'll get 2 times O rewards points on select purchases. Plus, pick up 5 quarts of any Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil and receive a $10 gift card after rebate. And buy 1, get 1 free Coca-Cola products at your Town Center Plaza, O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. How are you celebrating Jeep Adventure Days?
By helping you save up to $16,000 off MSRP on all remaining new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs. Plus, a lifetime of savings at the pump with 56 MPGE.
Oh, wow, that's huge savings, especially as gas prices seem to be going up and up again.
But that's not it. We have over 200 quality used cars available and 46 under $20,000 at the new Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter in historic downtown Woodland.
If you need a vehicle, new or used, your first stop needs to be at Hoblet. You won't find bigger savings on a better selection of vehicles anywhere. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$16,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs after $4,750 dealer discount and $11,250 factory and federal rebates. Rebates include $7,500 national retail consumer cash and $3,750 federal EV tax credit, subject to third-party terms and availability. Consult a tax professional for details. At least 5% savings. See dealer for details.
Hey, October's already heating up on the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. Enjoy family fun at Dave's Pumpkin Patch in West Sacramento all month long. Pick your perfect pumpkin, navigate the corn maze, jump on a massive jumping pillow, and create unforgettable memories for the kids. On October 20th, don't miss Renee Vaca at the Crest Theater for a night of laughs and entertainment. And mark your calendar for Sinners and Saints, the region's best Halloween party on October 26th at the venue at Thunder Valley, complete with a $5,000 costume contest. It's the most spooktacular event of the season. Looking ahead into November, join us for Legends of Motown at the venue at Thunder Valley November 23rd, bringing you the classic hits that defined a generation. And you're not going to want to miss the Jersey Boys Midtown Men Holiday Show December 8th, also at the venue at Thunder Valley. It's going to be a night filled with festive cheer and old school classics. And stay tuned to Sacktown Sports for all your live event updates and your chance to win tickets.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
I had said to our YouTube chatters, good morning. Hit the thumbs up while you're there, everybody. Thank you. Lots of people in there this morning. Good roll call, all our regulars. We were talking about wearing shorts. Chris is in shorts today. I'm in shorts today as well. Said I'm first team all shorts. I think in lifetime, just love shorts. Always have been. Want to be comfortable. I might even wear shorts that I think are comfortable now. I go home and I get into what I deem are more comfortable shorts. I don't know if those are like basketball shorts, just like,
oh, yeah.
It's so weird. Shorts are so comfortable anyway, but it's like, you know what? These are not as comfortable as my basketball shorts. So I'm putting those on. Let's see. J. Ross needs to have a sponsor for shorts. Sure. Zebra will keep your shorts on. No problem there. Shorts with cargo pockets. I don't have as many as I used to more. I don't have
never had that.
You never had cargo shorts? Mm-hmm. I did. I think I still have a pair. I don't know the last time I wore them. So not as often as at one point. Did you ever have jean shorts?
When I was a kid.
Yeah. There was a phase where shorts. I had a pair.
I stopped wearing them once John Cena started becoming popular.
Does he still do it?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Can you see him?
Sometimes.
Okay. You know how, Chris, there's like identifiers for when seasons come around, not just weather-wise, but like the NBA season. And one of them is maybe a change of the weather. The preseason gets here. But for me, I think, and you pointed this out to me because I had not seen it, but I took the time during the break to see it. It's when G-Man is posting food shots on the road.
Oh, yeah.
We've told him before that he should do like a G-Man's food blog, but he kind of is doing it without doing it.
And I think he likes to keep his spots to himself.
Yeah, he'll definitely tell.
No, not to himself. Like if it's like, hey, G-Man, I'm going down to wherever. Where should I?
He'll definitely tell you.
He'll tell you.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's where I've always found. So I travel a little bit with Sac State football. We end up in the same cities. And where are you on this, Chris? So like if you went somewhere and when you went there, it was so good, I want to go back to the same place. And sometimes you're like, oh, you got to try all the places. But I really enjoyed the place we found. Why? And it's not like I've gone there 50 times. Maybe I've been once or twice. I'd like to go there again.
When I'm definitely for like, if it's great, like
why not go back? You know, I might try something else there. But
when my friend and we went to Manchester, the first day there, he found some like New Zealand breakfast spot. It's just like, oh, let's go check this out. It's got good reviews. And it's just like, it was incredible.
So wouldn't you go again?
We went the next day.
Right. But like if you went this year, like why wouldn't you go there?
Yeah,
again?
if I were to go again, I'd 100%. I know exactly where it's at. I'd go again.
And so then, maybe you try other places along the way, but it's like, oh no, we're definitely going here. I mean, I think that's you found the place as opposed to, oh, I want to find a place that we love. You found it. So yesterday, G-Man, the Kings are in LA. Here's his, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure you guys that out there do follow G-Man on Twitter, and hopefully you do. It says beach food today in SoCal, and it's a picture of what looks to be clam chowder, a crab roll, an absurd amount of fries, and I think that's probably a Sprite, knowing G-Man. Yeah, I see bubbles. I say it might be water, but I think that's a Sprite. And so beach food today in SoCal, chowder, decent, crab roll, meh. Didn't say much about the fries, but it's tough to have fries not be good.
I mean, the crab roll looks incredible.
It does, but he gave it a meh. Gave it a meh. And the greatest thing about G-Man and his food, there's another one. This one was from, I just went back to, there's one there in San Francisco last week. And first road trip of the new season means a visit to New Ming's in San Francisco. Tasty. And I see some shrimp, mushroom, some sort of, I don't know if there's chow mein under there. Noodle. Yeah, there's some noodles under there. But I love it. And there's a 7-Up. So, yeah, he's going to have, but I love sometimes people will be like, oh, G-Man, he'll have like a chili cheese dog and a shake and fries and somewhere. And like, oh, be careful what you're eating. G-Man's doing just fine.
Yeah, don't worry about him.
Fine. Doing just fine. You'll be able to hear him on the call tonight when the Kings take on the Clippers in Los Angeles at the new Intuit Dome. Last night, the WNBA Finals continued. This has been such an amazing year for the WNBA. Obviously, the splash of Caitlin Clark, and for some, that bothered them for whatever reason. But she came in and was just a phenomenon for the league. She becomes the first player in, I think it was 16 years, to become all NBA WNBA first team as a rookie. So it tells you how great of a season she had, and made the playoffs after just a hideous start. But, a lot of people were following the aces. Can they three-peat? And what Asia Wilson and, Kelsey Plum and Gray and that whole team was doing on a nightly basis. And watch out for New York. Here's Minnesota, Connecticut, just all the way down the line, all these good teams. And last night, Game 3, WNBA Finals, series tied at 1, and it came down to the closing seconds.
8 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter of Game 3. 4 seconds. Ionescu will heave and hit! And hit! Sabrina Ionescu with the biggest shot in Liberty history.
Ryan Rucco on the call. Amazing. I mean, that's
stupid.
I mean,
what are you supposed to do?
Honestly, like when shots like that go in that Sabrina made when, Steph's famous form or anyone else just going like because they can make it, I guess it's not a bad shot. But I mean, you grew up playing, I grew up playing. It's like, doesn't feel like it's a good shot, but she made it look so easy.
Like, it's one of those ones, if you saw it in a game and it went in, your coach would be furious.
Right. It's like, don't do that. But then at the end, it doesn't matter. It's like left 1 second left that won the game. She's obviously capable of it. It didn't look like a prayer or just like, what are you doing? But it was kind of, what are you doing? Like there was no real play set. The play was, well, I'm going to dribble, see if I can get by you. I really can't. So let me just get to a spot where I know I can get my shot off comfortably. And just in, what was that? 6 feet beyond the arc, something like that. I mean, just the shooting range is probably the thing that has changed the most in the last 15 years. And the fact that more and more people in men's and women's can make threes from all areas. And at times, I think it makes for what can look like a bad decision. We've seen plenty of teams, the Kings for sure, where maybe the floor is spaced and you get a little one-on-one creativity and then someone will rise and fire and you just go, man, you've been getting to the basket all game, or try to put a little more pressure on the defense, even though these athletes are so tuned in and trained and can make shots like that. And I'm so glad that more of these moments are happening to get more recognition for the women's game, though it seemingly doesn't need any more help. It is just booming. And there's just great athletes on the men's side, on the women's side, and the level of play from when I used to cover the Monarchs and do those games and watch those games and get to know them and see how much growth it has had. It's staggering. I mean, it really is. How much better the league. I enjoyed it so much back then. It is so much better now. It is just so much better, and good for them. And I don't even know where it's going to go. I can only imagine continuing to go up. It's just been amazing to watch that happen. And Sabrina, that's one of the great shots. He said in Liberty history, which is probably true, but in WNBA history. I mean, that was just an amazing, amazing moment for the league, for the Liberty, and in the finals too, to do that. So good for her, good for them. And I wanted to at least make sure we focused in on that, because that was an incredible, iconic sports moment. We'll be talking about it for decades.
Decades. I actually think we will.
It was an amazing shot. It really was. When we come back, safe or out? It's that simple. We ask a question, is it safe or is it out? Baseball questions coming your way before we get to the Kings and Clippers to begin the 7 o'clock hour, what we're looking for from them tonight. We'll do all that as we continue right here on Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Hey, that's me. Do your job. Know what you're doing. Like Gonzalez Law. He does. He is smooth with it, right? He knows exactly what's going on and how to help you, because he has got experience. He has been in this area for a long time. He's local. He's right here. And he's the person you need to call when you feel like you're in a bind, when you need some help. You don't know, who do I call? Where do I go to? I'm in a situation that I couldn't have planned for. Well, sacklegaldefense.com. The number is 916-304-9187. Like I said, right here in downtown Sacramento. Met with him many times, been in his office. He's a guy that is raising his family here and knows what it means to have someone to represent you, knows what that can mean for you. His success rate has been incredible at the Gonzalez Law Office. Attorney Jonathan Gonzalez had remained undefeated from 2016 through 2019 for jury trials. His meticulous case preparation, his attitude has resulted in life-changing results for thousands of his clients, and you could be the same as well, whether it's criminal defense, expungements, sexual harassment, wrongful termination, all sorts of things he can help you out with, and that's important to know. Again, sacklegaldefense.com, or the phone number to reach Jonathan Gonzalez is 916-304-9187.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store. store.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
According to Dave Pells, most golfers don't allow for enough break on putts. During your next round, mark your scorecard whether you missed putts above the hole with an A or below the hole with a B. If you have more Bs, add more break until you have an equal number of A and B misses, and you'll make more putts. Ernie L. says bombing the driver on a par 5 might not always be the best strategy. Rather, you should get yourself to your ideal shot distance to the green. So if that's 120 yards, then for a 500-yard hole, you need shots of 200 and 180 yards. There are lots of ways to play a hole. Bobby Jones said a leading difficulty with the average player is that they totally misunderstand what is meant by concentration. They may think they're concentrating when they are merely worrying. Jones and all the great players knew that the game is played in the 6 inches between your ears. If that's your Golf to Go, I'm Frank LaRosa.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
I like how you put the caveat out there, Chris, in that story. It's like, it was obviously very bad.
It's obviously very bad, and
funny.
he was in the wrong.
But
it was very funny.
For the comedic value, it was worth it.
I'll have to show you on the break.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Jason Ross, Christopher Lott hanging out here till 10. We'll have Styles and Watkins coming in a little bit later. A little crosstalk with the fellas. And we will also give them our celebrity birthday list to see how they do today. Still to come on the show, if you're just joining in, good morning. Thank you. Jason Ross and Chris here with you. Dave is off today and tomorrow. We will have Kelly Brothers joining us at 7:30.
Are you on goofball pills or something?
No, he really is. Kelly Brothers at 7:30.
Good at business.
Yeah. And then
probably shouldn't have 2 things that have GOO right next to each other.
And then at how big is your bank of sounders there?
I just added a couple more rows, so.
Oh, because we had some add-ons yesterday. Hey, last year the Kings, Chris, how were they at shooting 3-pointers?
Crank up the mids.
Okay.
Patrick Stewart money.
That's where Dave is today. We will have at 8 o'clock Sam Amick. He will join us as well for his.
I know I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here
for his return. Sam from The Athletic. We look forward to that. But it is time for Safe or Out. Chris, question number 1.
The American League Championship Series will air today at 2 o'clock. Safe or out? This is bad for baseball.
I don't know how it's not. I think this is safe. Baseball to me, like it's lost you, right? It's lost Dave for the most part. I'm in, plus my team is in. But
I've been watching the playoffs.
Okay, so you're a little, and we have unique jobs. Very thankful for the jobs we have. We also have a unique time slot where, we have to get up early. We're here. And so 2 o'clock, I will watch. That's not an issue for me, but this isn't about me or you. Like the masses are working. And baseball, this takes me back to when, I would skip school and go watch the game. And I just don't think we're in that time anymore. And so, yeah, you have 2 series going on. Would you benefit like what the NFL's doing with Monday Night Football and have them on at the same time or slightly staggered? Or is this just better to put it at 2 o'clock where not everybody sees it?
I think it's actually better now.
This way?
Because, no. Like, then when you're talking about when you'd skip school or that, like, I remember, like, taking off from work if I knew a big game was happening in the afternoon. I think you can be at work. Like, everyone does it for March Madness.
Yeah. Just have
you'll hear, like, a couple of people, like, down the hall, like, watching. And then you'll go join in. I think that's cool. Like, obviously, the ratings aren't going to be the same, but there are ways to watch it.
And part of it, both games or everything right now is in the East because the Dodgers are out in New York. Like it would make sense to have that game a little bit later if it was in LA or there were more West Coast teams. But what would they have done if this was Well, the Mariners are the A's as a West Coast team, and the Giants, Dodgers, whatever, all West Coast teams or something. Are they playing that at 2:00? Well, I guess they are, right? And still the same thing. Maybe. I mean, at least in New York, you could say, in Cleveland, that game is still 5:00 there, but 2:00 here. It's just one of the things for the West Coast, maybe where we don't win, even though for me, I think it's going to be great today. But there's the doubleheader, and it starts with that one in the American League at 2:00. All right, question 2.
Judge and Ohtani have each homered in their last games. Safe or out? This is great for baseball.
Yeah, no, that's definitely safe, right? I mean, these are the two biggest stars. They had not been playing that well. Shohei had been playing better than Judge, and then Shohei on the big stage. Actually, what they did yesterday, so I was watching the Dodgers-Mets game, and I had not seen this, and maybe they've been doing this. I don't know if you had seen this, Chris, but I'm generally aware of like the batting order and when Shohei's coming up. But, not everybody's as dialed in, but I want to say Edman was up. I can't remember who was up for the Dodgers, but they had a little graphic that popped up on the right side of the screen, and it was like a cartoon of Shohei Ohtani, like a cartoon not drawing, but animated thing, and it says Shohei Ohtani, 2 batters away, and then it just disappeared. And it was just kind of a reminder, like, oh, maybe I'm just checking into the game. Oh, wait, Shohei's up in 2 batters. I'm going to watch. And I hadn't seen that before. And I go, that's marketing or branding. And for a sport that I don't think does a good enough job with their stars, he's a massive mega star. And I was watching the game anyway, but I don't know if that would have helped and worked on anyone else. So good for them. Good for each of those two guys. Like, if they both make the World Series and have good World Series, I think that's about as good as it can be for baseball. Now, what will that translate into? I don't know what the numbers will be. I don't know if that'll be a boom into next year or not, but I think that's the best chance they have, is if those two guys do make it and do play well and kind of show off their talents. But all right, so that's safe for me. Question 3.
The Giants have 3 candidates for a Gold Glove. Safe or out? They will get 2 or more Gold Gloves.
All right, well, Matt Chapman's kind of been a regular. He's one of the 3 candidates at third base. I think Bailey is one at catcher. Who's the third one? Oh, Yastrzemski. I'm going to say out. I don't think they'll get 2 or more. I don't know if they'll get any. They had a tough year, but doesn't mean defensively those guys should be recognized. Chapman's always been just an incredible third baseman. Bailey, though, is a good catcher. He really is. I don't think Yastrzemski will get it, but you don't know. You never know how this will all go down in the awards category there. But just kind of makes you wonder, like the defense, they had some good guys defensively. Some of the starting pitching elements, to me, it was really their consistency in hitting that let them down. And it's going to be interesting this offseason to see what kind of impact and how quickly of an impact Buster Posey will have with that organization and how quickly he can help them turn it around. But that's a look at safe or out. So that's interesting, Chris, that you feel like you're watching more baseball now than you did in the regular season.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah. I had a friend come by and I was watching the game and she was like, "You're watching baseball?" And I'm like,
"Who are you?"
Yeah, it's like, this is the playoffs.
So just because of that, it means a little more. Does it have anything to do with Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, Guardians, or just because it's the
I want to see the Mets win.
Okay.
They've become like
that's your team
Mets supporter.
Why?
Just because they've been so insane this year.
Yeah, they're weird because they're not like the Guardians. I get because that's the true underdog, and the Mets shouldn't be considered an underdog, but they have had a weird year. Like they've spent the money. It's not that.
They would be like, "Oh my God, this team is on fire. They cannot lose." And "Oh my God, they are terrible.
Yeah.
They have not been able to win in like 3 weeks."
Yeah, fire them all, trade them all. They're bums, and then now New York is really into their baseball right now between the two teams. It's pretty cool for them. We don't have that same kind of fervor out here right now, but
I think it's kind of like that little brother type of mentality too, especially like when we have the Kings and there's Golden State like right down the road. Like if the Kings could just like beat them one time and get in their face and like, yeah,
we did it.
I feel like that's how Mets. When you see like I follow a couple of Mets fans. And like them online, like during like the run up and now in the postseason have just been insane. Like I cannot believe I'm watching this right now.
Yeah, that's cool. I really love it for fan bases that are into it. Danny in Chula Vista, he's a regular. Thank you, Danny. J. Ross Fox has been doing that Shohei animation since the Division Series, but only for him. That's fine. I mean, I just hadn't seen it. I honestly hadn't seen it for that specific moment, which was cool. I mean, again, I think you want to showcase your stars. And by the way, I think Joe Davis and John Smoltz are tremendous. I feel like I always, and I've been a lifelong baseball fan, played baseball forever, wanted to play baseball as far as I could go, honestly. But John, I learned so much from John Smoltz. I think he's a terrific analyst. Those two would make a really, really good team. All right. When we come back, we've got the 7 o'clock hour coming your way. We will come back and talk about the Kings closing out the preseason tonight. We know they've added Doug McDermott, but what do you want to see from the Kings tonight? How important is how they play tonight? Not the win or loss, but how important to you is how they play, will that be how they play tonight? We'll discuss that and more as we begin the second hour of the show. That is next on Sacktown Sports.
The quest for ring number 6 happens here on Sacktown Sports 1140. Listen on Sacktown Sports for all the 49ers action.
Jennings went up and took it away. What a catch by JJ. He scored 3 touchdowns today.
Quest for 6 lives here on your local sports leader, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Hey, make sure you check out Sacramento State football this Saturday, 6 p.m., Hornet Stadium, when the Hornets are back in action, and they need you there for homecoming as they take on Weber State. That game time, 6 o'clock Saturday. Homecoming, the festivities will be great. Football should be great, and there'll be post-game fireworks. So get on out there. Tickets on sale now. All you have to do is go to hornetsports.com to see Saturday's home game, Sacramento State, Weber State with post-game fireworks. And remember, Stingers up.
Preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $35.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Financial Group is not a law firm. Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
Nope.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Disturbed. Live. Oh, get up, come on, get down with the 25th anniversary of the 5-time platinum album, The Sickness. 2 sets, 1 show, The Sickness in its entirety, and greatest hits with special guests, Daughtry, and Nothing More. Friday, May 9th, Golden One Center. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Disturbed. Live.
Check out Sacramento State football this Saturday, 6 p.m. versus Weber State.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
"30 minutes from now, Kelly Brothers, Sports Business. He will join us. In 1 hour from now, the return of Sam Amick. Lots of basketball to discuss with Sam, including we'll talk about the new addition to the Sacramento Kings, Doug McDermott. Dougie McBuckets, what will that mean for the Kings? How will he be incorporated? What else is going on out there? We are just a few days away from the start of the NBA's regular season. One more to go in the preseason, and it's tonight, the Kings and the Clippers. I think if you've listened to Dave and I for any amount of time, we kind of have a different philosophies going on our Kings approach. Dave's very emotional, very much more reactionary to each and every game. I've always tried to do the big picture for the entirety of the season, but also know that there are pockets of the season where things are going really, really well, and it feels like, man, this team's never going to lose again. And conversely, there's times like, this losing streak may go to 15. I just don't know when they're going to win again. So you deal with those types of things, and I am very optimistic on what I think this team can be this year. That's kind of the backdrop of this. And I will say it actually has been diminished for me. I can only speak for myself. I'm not saying you should feel the same way. If you were super optimistic and you think this team is going to win whatever amount of games and you don't care how they're playing, it's the preseason, and it hasn't bothered you, that's fine. Or if you never thought this team had much of a shot and this is supporting that or not supporting it, whatever. You guys feel how you feel about this, but I'm really excited about the talent they have. I have not love the way they've played this preseason. I think the first 2 games I was feeling pretty good and didn't care that they lost. And I thought, honestly, the first 2 games that they lost, it was mainly because of their thin bench, and they were playing the deep bench at the end of the game. And okay, they didn't win, but I really don't care if they win in the preseason. It's how you play. So if that's the backdrop, then you get to the last 2 games, and the Sunday game against the Blazers was hideous. I mean, that was awful. All right, let's chalk that up to one bad day, one preseason game if we want, sure. Then the next time they played, it was better against the Jazz, but where it bothered me is they kind of went for it and didn't get it. And it doesn't mean you win every game. They should go for every game when you're in the regular season. But I would say the last 2 teams they've played are teams that most likely, at least many believe, will not be in the playoff mix. And when you've played more of your starters, you had more of your guys in, and the other team didn't, and you think you're better than those 2 teams, and you lost both, and one of them you were awful. It's diminished my beliefs a little, but I'm not going, well, lottery bound, they're winning 25 games. It's not that. It's just I wish they looked a little bit better from what we can see going in. Now, there's another game today. They might play a lot better tonight, and maybe that's tweaked back into that kind of positive vibe feel. But I want to see that. I want to see them with more good minutes, more like the first 2 games of the starters where we are praising them for playing free, not running sets, and looking like that starting 5 had been together for years. And that's with adding DeMar DeRozan. So that's kind of what I'm looking for tonight when they take on the Clippers to close out the preseason, is a sharper look, a team that looks like they're ready for the regular season. And, you know, if this year goes as what I've expected and what a lot of people have expected, and I said this yesterday, if we're going pie in the sky, everything goes right, Kings have the year of all years, I honestly do believe they could finish at the top of the Western Conference in the regular season. I really, really do. I believe that firmly. Now, I've laid out a scenario where, and what does that mean? To me, the pie in the sky, everything goes right, is Monk, Fox, DeRozan, Sabonis, and Murray playing 65 to 70 games or more, all of them, right? And then just a bunch of other guys. Like, I expect Fox and Sabonis to be great. DeRozan to probably be very, very good, and maybe a couple other players having careers. Maybe Monk wins 6th man of the year. Herter returns to the shooting form. McDermott helps him. Like, all the things you go, man, all of those things laid out, it worked. That's the best of the best. Let's go the other way. I think if there's a few stumbles in the road, a few injuries, maybe some of these roster flaws that at least we look at now that make us question some things like size, maybe some of the perimeter defense, interior defense, if all those things show up and other teams, look, there's other teams out there, they have their best seasons. I'm not saying the Kings could go to 4 or 6 or 8. I'm saying they could go to like 12. There are that many good teams, I think, in the West. And when people just so quickly want to go, oh, the Kings are better than the Warriors, are they? Oh, the Kings are better than this team, are they? I don't know. I mean, there's some projections. People kind of generally, when I've looked at predictions for the Kings, I've seen them for most people anywhere from around 3 to about 9, which, again, mine is 1 to 12. That's so broad, that's not narrowing in. But I think the problem is, for me at least, I don't see anybody in the West, and this is where I could definitely be wrong, I don't see anybody in the West running away with this and getting to 60 wins, 65 wins, let's say. And then the next tier is 54 or whatever. This whole thing could be a lot like last year where, you know, if your best team wins 53 games and your 8 seed is 47, well, is the 53-win team really that much better than a 47-win team? And what happened? What was the difference? Was there just a few more injuries? So I think the Kings are a good example of that the last 2 years, winning 48 games and finishing 3rd, winning 46 games and finishing 9th. The Kings and the Nuggets are the only 2 teams that have won 46 or more games the last 2 years. Okay, but what is Memphis going to win this year? What is New Orleans going to win this year? I mean, people are talking about OKC and Minnesota and even Denver. But what's Dallas going to do again as an encore? I didn't think they were the best team in the West. They got all the way through to the finals. So I think the West is going to be super competitive. Do the Lakers have another run in them? The Clippers are worse. Are they? It looks like it, but are they? I mean, they have every chance to prove it. And then is Portland better than we think? Or Utah? Or teams that the Spurs, will they make a significant jump? Teams that some people are writing off, there's always a surprise. So last year's surprise to me is I did not think OKC would finish first. That was a case where a lot of things went right. They're a really good team, but a lot of things went right. So to me, I just want to see this team look more like they are ready to go from top to bottom. Now, part of the problem is they do have some injuries right now. I don't think they're super damaging, but I would feel better about the team if the bench was more ready to go and what the exact bench will look like. Because I think if you take the current starting 5 right now, and that's with Keon Ellis, and then incorporate Herter, Monk, McLaughlin, Lyles, and probably Len, and now maybe McDermott. Now there's 11. Are you going to play all 11? Maybe you don't play Len and you play Lyles. Maybe there's some nights you played Len because you're playing a bigger team. Can you get or how much duplication is there with Herter and Monk, or Herter and McDermott, or Lyles and McDermott? Like there's some repeat there, but what's the best choice? And then later in the year, hopefully, Devin Carter is available to join the team, and I really think he has a chance to help the team too. So I think they're in a good position. That's an I think, but it really is going to depend. You got to avoid droughts. You can't have bad stretches. And then when you see these little things that are still showing up, they're not shooting the ball very well right now. That's a concern. The free throw shooting, that has killed them. They were last in the league last year. And, 2 games can make a difference. 4 games can make a world of difference. So these are the kind of things I want to see them tighten up as they get ready for the regular season. But what I'm also excited about, I won't be there tonight. I'll be here back at the studio, but I can't wait to get to the Intuit Dome. And Chris, I don't know if you've seen some of the things or some of the videos of the stuff at Intuit Dome. I think I told you and Dave when I got back from the broadcast meetings, they had a presentation of the Intuit Dome, and it was just,
I was seeing the
mind-boggling.
The boards when it was like halftime or whatever, and it's just insane.
Yeah, I don't even know what they called it. I think they called it the Halo. But so Golden One's got a massive scoreboard. At the time, it was the biggest. This is like, it's almost the entire lower, but it's this huge circular scoreboard that you could see from every single angle.
I think LA's football stadium has the same type of
something similar. Yeah. And to see it in there, I love the idea. I think I told you guys about the jersey wall. And it's like, oh, everybody's got a jersey wall. No, this one's different. They're going to have every single California high school jersey on the wall. Now, the question is, you had asked a good one. I don't know if your high school will be on there because it no longer exists.
Yeah.
Right? How great would it be if they had one, though?
That'd be fantastic.
I don't know what they do with, past high schools or if it's just all current high schools. But the fact that they're doing that is really, really, really cool. Apparently, they have just an absurd amount of bathrooms so that people can get back to their seats. That's Ballmer's big thing is, hey, I want you in your seats. I want you here. I want you enjoying as much of the game as possible. They're going to have, like a lot of places now, cashless purchases, but I think you don't even have to use anything. You just, it can, and I still don't understand this technology, but it'll just track off your phone if you go in and get food from the concession areas and just bring it back to your seat and it'll take it away. It must be attached to your ticket in some way, shape, or form. But the things, and I'm anxious to hear G-Man talk about it, everybody who makes their first trip through there, that the technology that they have. And the fan wall, I forgot the concept of the fan wall. Did you remember that, what that was like? Remember they have the one section that's just...
It's just for Clippers fans.
Yeah, and it's like it's almost like a college student section in a sense.
Yeah.
But that's really cool too. Just that.
That's something I wish Sacramento would have thought of.
And they can incorporate that here too, for sure.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. That'll be cool to see some of that tonight. And certainly in the future, if anybody makes a trip down to LA and the Intuit Dome to see what that truly will be like. So Kings and Clippers tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. When we come back, we've got more to get to, including 3 for Madness. And we'll talk about a team that's for sale. And if you had the means, would you be interested? We'll explain that and more in 3 for Madness next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, it is that time, 3 for Madness time. So Christopher Laud, fire away with question 1.
The Chicago White Sox may in fact be for sale. If you had the means, would you be interested?
I almost feel like I should ask you this question first. We know how you think about with people that have a ton of money. If you had that kind of money, any interest in forget that it's the White Sox, but I mean, this question originates that the White Sox may in fact be for sale. But would you be interested in owning a team?
100%.
You would be.
I'd be interested in owning the White Sox.
Why?
Because they're like a franchise that is, I believe, underappreciated. It's like one of the original American League teams.
The little brother.
And I think it would be cool to take the little brother. And if I had the money, I think I'd want to be a good owner where ticket prices are low. I would want to be an owner where all the other owners are mad at me.
Yeah. What's he doing? Why is he making those tickets?
Why
affordable?
isn't he making money?
Yeah. Because he has a ton of money. So that would be one of your platforms, whatever.
Like
you
my
own.
dream would be to like, oh man, this is pretty reasonable. I'm going to go to a White Sox game instead of a Cubs game.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, like you've born a group of White Sox fans that just weren't there before.
Yeah.
So that would be one of your platforms. Affordable tickets. How would you be on player spending?
I think I would just get somebody to figure it out. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with like.
You'd hire a great GM.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like if the GM says, "Hey, look, I got a shot at getting." Whatever, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, get him. Yeah, still keep the ticket prices what they are.
Yes.
Would you rather be an owner or a GM?
Owner.
Yeah,
I think you could do bigger change as an owner.
Oh, bigger change for sure. GM,
I don't want to put the team together.
Yeah, I've always thought that would be a fun job, but I also think incredibly stressful because.
Especially the stuff that you get blamed on, and it's like, it's not,
yeah,
hey, that's not my decision.
Right. I think I made the right choice in bringing in this player for whatever reason, they got hurt or this happened or life happens and they're not what I envisioned. Yeah. The White Sox actually, it's an interesting angle that you said, because I mean, it's there are White Sox fans. I don't want to diminish that, but Chicago's always been so about the Cubs. And if you could turn it around and, like new ownership, new vibe, new feel.
Like what they've been doing, they've been threatening to move. It's been a lot like Oakland. They're not spending on their team. They're threatening to move. They've given their fans every reason not to come to the stadium.
Yeah.
And then say like, hey, well, what do you expect from us? They're not coming.
Right. Yeah. They'll know that one. If you could somehow like buy the A's, the Oakland A's, and be the next, like sometimes you're like, man, this is a tough shoes to fill. Like that would be the easiest shoes to fill.
I think we're talking about this off the air. I don't think we're saying it on the air, but the idea of Tampa coming to Oakland, right. And my thought would be like, it would be just packed just for the idea of absolute spite and A's fans, Oakland fans saying like, we've always been able to support a team. We just never we did not want to support Fisher.
Yeah. And we don't even really care about this Tampa team that's here, but we're going to show you.
Like I could see like the 68s and stuff like that in right field doing all like the drums and the horns and stuff, like doing their regular thing.
Yeah. That would be one of the biggest in your faces of all time, right? Especially if the A's are here at that time.
That's like one of the reasons, like we've talked about the logistics of it, just the having to travel, why it would be so difficult. I think one of the other things would be MLB, I believe, has an idea that is what would happen, and they could not let that happen because of how embarrassing it would look for them.
Yeah. I'm with you on the buying, though, of the White Sox. That'd be fun. That'd be fun to own a team. And I have no idea what that sale price would be. My goodness.
It's going to be like $1 billion.
It's just absurd. Absurd, the amount of money this is that's going on in these franchises now. But it's shown that they've ended up being worth it. At some point, it feels like that bubble will break, but we're certainly not there yet. All right, question 2.
Question 2.
There's a time when people were tired of the Ball family. Last night, Lonzo returned to the court. Do you find yourself rooting for him?
Absolutely, I am. The Ball family was in our face, and really, it was the dad, right?
Yes.
I mean, that was the mouthpiece, the one that just was getting attention, demanding attention. I don't even know what he's up to these days.
Lonzo was also very quiet.
He was, and I think of the three, LaMelo's been the loudest.
Yes.
And I probably, maybe because Lonzo went to UCLA and I liked him there, and I think you're right. He's been quiet. I think he's been a good pro. He's been hurt. And then the fact that there was talk like he may never play again, and for him to get back on the court, finally got a great ovation. He did some good things last night. I'm absolutely rooting for him.
Yeah. I've never really had a problem with Lonzo.
Yeah. And I'm glad to, like, some of the stuff the dad would say, you're like, just let him play. Like, I know some of it might be for show and there's some theatrics there, but you're going, man, remember when he was showing up on like First Take? And I'm like, what are we doing?
That's also the media enabling him.
Of course.
100%. Like, we've had here our own instances of Marvin Bagley's dad.
Right.
But like, he never really got that much airtime. You'd see a couple tweets and stuff and people would talk about it, but he was never on TV regularly or anything like that.
National TV like that. And, saying, and they had they had a reality show, I think. I don't know if it was on, I think it was like on Facebook.
I think it was Facebook.
Yeah.
And I think it was when LaMelo was going to Europe, when he was playing in Europe.
Okay. Yeah. Before he got here, before he got to Charlotte. And, for him, he's been hurt too. And he's like a franchise piece. And that makes me wonder, like, I don't know that he's a franchise player. He's good. He's really good. But I've never felt like he is the franchise player for that organization. But Lonzo, he's bounced around a little bit. I think he's been productive. And, by all accounts, people that have talked about him, I think there's a good guy in there, and I'm rooting for him. And I'm glad he got that ovation, glad he got some love. And that's tough to be out for, 2 years?
It also helps that he doesn't play for the Lakers anymore.
True. That's true. That makes it a little bit easier for sure. All right, question number 3.
Question 3.
TNT and Unrival reach an agreement to televise the new women's 3-on-3 basketball league. How do you think they will do?
I'm having a little bit of trouble with this. I just got done earlier talking about the WNBA finals. What a great moment we had last night with 15-point comeback. Sabrina Ionescu with the game winner, just a dagger of a 3, just a clutch, iconic shot in the finals, put them a game away from winning a title. I think the WNBA is on fire. I think women's college basketball is on fire. I'd like to play personally 3-on-3. I haven't gotten into watching it. The big 3, I thought, okay, I'm going to really like this league. I haven't that much. The Olympics, I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. And I don't know if that's a me thing, Chris, or if that's going to be a masses thing. I don't know. So I'm kind of torn because I'm not as into it. And it's not that I don't care that it's women.
Not into it, Dome.
Yeah. I don't know why I haven't enjoyed the 3-on-3
I haven't really
game
watched
as much.
the 3-on-3. The one I was really interested in, and I don't know where it is in this project, but Mike Bibby was like partners in a league with the LED floor where there's going to be like hot spots to where like if you shot from someplace, it'd be worth more. That's something
Was that also 3-on-3 or
I don't know if
full
it's
court?
3-on-3 or full court, but that's one of the things. If it's going to be a 3-on-3, I would kind of like more gimmicks.
Yeah.
Like I know they've got the 4-point line, but I would like to see more, like the one with Bibby. That sounds like just a real life NBA Jam type of thing.
And this they're doing in the women's off season, which makes sense for them, but it's also in the meat of the men's NBA regular season. And it's TNT, which, is going to lose some basketball here.
No, what I think it is I think this is just my speculation. If it's during the off season of the women's league, that means that if you're in the WNBA, you can play in this.
Yeah, they do have some.
So the
WNBA
idea
players.
would be to get WNBA players on the 3-on-3 team,
which gives it a chance
in the Olympics, especially in LA.
Yeah, which all of that gives it a chance. Like if the big 3 now is either older NBA players or former NBA players or guys that maybe didn't quite make it, and I don't know. It just hasn't. It's got its audience. It just hasn't done it for me.
Like maybe if there's like a 3-on-3 specialist is what you're saying, like someone that's not in the league but is very good in this 3-on-3
and becomes a
setup.
draw.
Yeah,
it's like you've got to see them play. They're so good in this 3-on-3, or this team is so good.
Like if there is like not him specifically, but like Linsanity type of player.
Yeah, or Jay Will, like when he was coming through here, and it's like, but no, this guy.
The thing too is like why Jay Will was so special was like it was full court.
Right.
Like, would he be able to do this in a half court setting?
And that's the thing. I think that's part of the charm of the NBA game is just the running full court, the not that they can't shoot from far beyond, but it's just in the flow of the offense, the alley-oops from far out. Like you just don't get that as much from a 3-on-3. So I don't know. And you just know what the other option is. I mean, it's just, I've just always enjoyed full court basketball better. So, but they got to try it. They got to strike while the iron's hot. And maybe this will be something that Unrivaled will do well. I know Breonna Stewart's behind it. Some other WNBA players are like backing this league. And the fact that, like you're right, Chris, the fact that current WNBA players are going to be playing, some of them, in this during the offseason, I just wonder how in a, Tuesday night while the NBA is going on or, near the end where the NFL playoffs are still going, how this will do on TV.
Just give us the Rock and Jock basketball game again. That's all I'm asking for.
You like the 10-point shot?
Oh, loved it.
Yeah. Was the hoop higher for that or what was it?
Oh, it's high. There was two of them. So there was
That's right.
I think there was a 10-pointer that was like at 15 feet. And I want to say that there was like a 20-pointer at like 25 feet. So it was like getting at the end of the quarter. They're just like,
yeah. Now, remind me, I remember watching that. Were they NBA player? Who was playing?
I remember Mitch Richmond was playing in a...
While he was still in the NBA?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And was it 3-on-3 or was it?
No, it was 5-on-5.
It was 5-on-5 full court. That's
like
right.
I specifically remember, this is like
I
one of the
Reggie Miller in it, I feel like.
Only things I really remember was Mitch Richmond was at the line. Queen Latifah goes up to him and is just like, hey, missed this free throw on purpose and hop back on the 5-pointer behind him. And he did it. I was like, this is amazing.
I love it. Basketball will never be the same. That's funny. That is funny. All right. When we come back, we are going to visit with our guy, Kelly Brothers. We're going to get some sports business, the very latest there. We missed him last week, but he is back. We will check in with Kelly. We still to come. Remember, at 8 o'clock, the return of Sam Amick. He will join us weekly Thursday at 8 o'clock. He starts that again today, so we look forward to that. But sports business with Kelly Brothers when we return.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Power Days?
The savings just keep getting better and better. Right now, you can save up to $17,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorns. And yes, I said the very nicely equipped, updated 2025 Rams.
Man, that is some of the best savings you've had all year.
Yep, and you won't find better deals on more Ram trucks than at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. There's a reason we continue to be one of the biggest Ram dealers in the country, with numerous customer service awards, including the very prestigious Walter P. Chrysler Award, which means we are in the top 1% of dealers in the nation.
Don't miss the savings at Hoblet. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
17,000 total net savings after 12,500 factory rebate. 4,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 Chrysler Capital bonus cash. Must finance through Chrysler Capital. 3,000 in Hoblet inventory select coupons and 2,000 in Hoblet trade-in assistance coupons. Must have qualifying trade-in. At least 5 of the net savings. Coupons only while supplies last. See dealer for details.
O'Reilly. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts in West Sacramento and Town Center Plaza next to Nugget Markets now through October 29th for the Customer Appreciation Day sale. You'll get 2 times O rewards points on select purchases. Plus, pick up 5 quarts of any Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil and receive a $10 gift card after rebate. And buy one, get one free Coca-Cola products at your Town Center Plaza, O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to saclegaldefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
Joining us now on Sports Sense, certified financial planner Kelly Brothers. Kelly is an advisor with Cap Trust, one of the nation's largest registered investment advisors. Cap Trust counts among its clients numerous pro athletes and pro sports franchises, but most importantly serves many Northern Californians through comprehensive financial planning. Here's Kelly Brothers.
He's back. Kelly Brothers back with us. Fresh from, where was it, Kelly? Ireland?
Ireland, Jason. My wife and I celebrated 30 years, and
congrats!
What a wonderful wife she is to agree to do an Ireland golf trip for our 30th anniversary.
Oh wow, good for you. How was the golf?
You know what? I think Ireland is the one place on the globe that is benefiting from climate change. I mean, it was. It was glorious. It was low 60s and sunny. Nice. And no rain. We played 90 holes of golf. 2 holes we had sprinkles, and other than that, it was it was surprisingly beautiful because we were ready for anything. And I was practicing my British Open knockdown 5-iron for 3 months before. Never used it, but no, just beautiful courses, great people. The 19th hole is just unbeatable, really, over there.
That's awesome.
A lot of fun.
Well, congrats to you and your wife, 30 years. That's fantastic. I'm glad you're back too. And just before we get into some of our sports business, I know we're nearing the end of the year, and we just had another, the other day was tax extension day. Just curious about Cap Trust and everything kind of going on with you guys now at this time of year. Just any kind of advice in that general area.
Yeah, just Jason, thank you. First of all, everyone's going to have their 401k statements arriving home probably this week, and it's safe to open them. It's been a very good year. The S&P 500 is up over 20% year to date, which is an astounding return, and which is why you never, let the vibe of the moment guide your investment decisions. Oh my God, this election, the world's going to blow up. It's terrible. You got to look at the fundamentals, and the fundamentals were good. Inflation had come back down to very low levels. The economy was still growing. People were still spending. All is well in Cap Trust world. Feel free to give us a call if you need help with financial planning, especially with some major tax changes coming exactly 15 months out from now at the end of next year. And you better be ready for them if you're in certain kind of net worth groups, or else you're going to be giving a lot of money to the government one day, potentially. So Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, no problem. We appreciate that. Also, there's the sports business world's doing quite fine too. The Spanos family has always been very productive. Sounds like they're doing some more work and moving some money off of the Chargers.
Yeah, it's kind of a sad family squabble, Jason, that kind of played out in front of everyone. And I feel bad for, Alex Spanos was a gem of a man. Got to know him and got to see his generosity in action on any number of fronts over the years. And I have multiple stories where he just said, listen, we're going to do this right, and I'm going to pay for it. And so I got to see that in action. His wife, Faye, was just a beautiful, lovely person as well. And now you got the next generation, and there was a inter-family squabble, and one of the daughters wanted out. And luckily for her, because of all the legal wrangling, it dragged on for about 3 years, which probably, the value of the Chargers franchise over that time period probably was up by about $2 billion or so. But she is now getting out. And so 3 members of the family will still own almost 70% of the team. But a guy by the name of Tom Gores has purchased 27% of the Chargers. And an interesting note about this, that people should know is he's only paying $750 million. The reason is you get a discount on that team value. The Chargers are worth nearly $6 billion, but you get a discount if you have no control, and he has no control. He just has a chunk of the team, of the equity of the team, without any real say in terms of the operations of that team. So he bought a chunk. Obviously, he'd like to add to that and probably get control someday. He already owns the Detroit Pistons, but at least there seems to be peace in the Spanos family again. And one of the siblings got what she wanted, which was some cash for estate planning, I'm sure. And the other kids are still fully engaged and involved in running a franchise, which is in LA, but obviously does not own their own stadium either.
I mean, just hearing what you're saying, these are circles I'll never live in, but $750 million to have zero control.
Zero control.
Wow.
And so, yeah, but that's the game you play. I mean, you get in it, you don't, and as we know with the Kings and Vivek, you don't have to own 50% to have control of the team.
True.
In this case, though, Dean Spanos has run the team. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Alex Spanos bought the Chargers for $78 million, is I think what was the number was. That was in $72 million. That was in 1984. He bought the team. So you're talking, you're talking a huge, almost a multiple of 100 there over that time span. So, but Dean Spanos and two of his siblings will continue to run the franchise. And how they run it, I'll leave that judgment up to fans of the Chargers. But the one sister who wanted out is not now out, and there's peace in Stockton again, because that's the other thing. Stockton's been an incredible beneficiary of Spanos' generosity over the years.
So, Kelly, we're winding up the baseball season. We're at the playoffs, the best time of year. We got our Final Four, and we're getting closer potentially here to a Dodgers-Yankees World Series, which we used to see a lot in the late 70s, early 80s, but it's been forever since. How good would this be for baseball if they actually get that?
Oh my God, they would love it. It would be pie in the sky, the best of all worlds. A lot of people might think, oh no, they'd rather have a Subway Series, Yankees Mets. No, they've had that before, and the ratings across the country were meh. It was kind of like, you New Yorkers, that's great. You guys can have it, but we're not that interested. I hate to say it, but baseball doesn't want a Brewer Kansas City World Series either. Right. I mean, but if they were able to get Yankees and Dodgers, you get the two largest markets in the country. You get the two biggest stars in the game in Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, and you get the entire nation of Japan as well. So it would be it would really inject life into a World Series, which, to be honest with you, has suffered ratings wise over the last few years. And I'm sure they are, holding their rosary beads close to the chest in league offices there and hoping that it happens, because that would be, that would be kind of the one matchup that would transcend what cities the teams actually played in.
Yeah, I agree completely. And to have, for a sport that I don't think personally has done a good enough job highlighting their stars, you would have the two biggest stars, as you mentioned. And I think there would be an immediate, net result of, like you're saying, ratings nationwide. But I wonder if there would be any carryover, like would that boost into next baseball season? Because this is a sport that needs that jolt. Do you think longer term, if that's the World Series, doesn't matter really who wins, that it gets baseball the net return it needs after the World Series?
I give baseball some credit. I think Rob Manfred made some dumb decisions early on, but I think now they are changing things. They are seeing the writing on the wall. They are speeding up their game. They're making it more interesting. They're not stuck on tradition. And they're realizing if they want to thrive, they have to change with the times and the speed at which life moves. I don't know if it would carry over. I would hope it would. I mean, my fantasy here, Jason, is that you get Dodgers, Yankees, and ninth inning of Game 7, they bring in Shohei Ohtani to pitch, and he closes it out. I think that would be, for a guy who hasn't pitched all year, he's the only guy in the world who could do it, period.
Yeah, and he gets Judge out, right, to end it.
Oh my God, that's right. Oh, if he struck out Judge at the end, that would be the ultimate battle. But baseball, I give them credit. They're not hung up on tradition, and that's not the way we've done it, which is a very dangerous place to be in today's world. You've got to be willing to move on. You've got to be willing to try different things. They instituted this pitch clock, and everyone said this is a better game.
Yeah.
No one complained about it. I mean, there was kind of the shakeout period. All right, what do how does it work if this happens or that happens? But now that everyone's used to it, the game just moves at a better pace. So I'm hopeful because I love a good baseball game and I love the pace of a good baseball game, but they're starting to figure it out. We'll see if it carries over. I think where they need to do work is in the attracting of the 14, 15-year-old athlete to stay in baseball and not default to football, basketball, soccer, lacrosse. Lacrosse is taking some great baseball players off the field. So, that's where that's the grassroots place that baseball needs to put more money. Maybe it's into high school programs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's into high school stadiums. And, hopefully we'll be the beneficiary of that. Jason, we just saw this week too, three very prominent local names step up, and they're going to redevelop what used to be the Pheasant Club in West Sacramento. And they're going to put in 3 different restaurants. Pheasant Club was there for generations, owned by the Palmadesi family. Just a fantastic establishment that closed down, I think, 2 years ago now. But they're going to redevelop that into a new kind of 3-headed restaurant concept. They haven't named the restaurants yet, but I think that's a harbinger of new economic money flowing to West Sac, because West Sac is growing. If you drive I-5 out of Sacramento, you see all the housing right from the freeway there that is going up. And so West Sac is not only growing, but you add in 3 or 4 years of the A's playing 81 home games, and you can see why people might be willing to put money into West Sac that a year ago they wouldn't have done. So I think that's a great sign for us locally as well.
Yeah, I know Dave and I have talked about this. We might have even mentioned it with you, but I always felt like West Sac into Sacramento, like the river, I always felt like there could be a Riverwalk concept there that just could really, blow up this whole region.
No, we need it. And Sacramento, I hate to say it, we've been pathetic in the way we've handled our river. It's been an untapped, asset to our community. And, we can't even get it right in terms of the deck at the Rio City Cafe as they're shutting down. So, which was owned by the city, by the way. So, no, we've never done a good job of kind of taking full advantage, but I still remain excited that at some point we'll get it right. In many ways, West Sac has done a better job with their riverfront than we have with ours. When you see, what they have going on there and the barn and the Riverwalk they have. And I still, I'm hopeful for that day where we have an afternoon A's game in April and people just leave that stadium and walk across the Tower Bridge and head for a Kings playoff game that night at Golden One. That would be, the city might explode.
Yeah. That'd be an incredible visual. I look forward to that day too. Hopefully we see that. Kelly, thank you so much as always. Welcome back, and we'll talk to you again next Thursday.
Thanks, Jason. All the best, buddy.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. That's Kelly Brothers. He's good at business, sports business. Always love checking in with him. Still to come, Sam Amick joins us at 8. When we come back, the Kings' new addition, Doug McDermott. How does he fit in? We'll talk about it next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Jeff Lynn's ELO.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why.
Live in concert in Sacramento. The Over and Out Tour. Jeff Lynn's ELO. The final tour. All the hits. Live at Golden One Center, October 23rd. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
The shot clock is ticking, and your home team is driving up the court. But don't miss your chance to score big at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Save on a new Accord, HRV, Ridgeline, or the all-new Prologue before the buzzer sounds on year-end deals. Don't get benched by high prices. Slam dunk your savings today.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's L1 report.
For 76 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 76th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
With the best in local sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Back here on the show, Jason Ross, Christopher Laud. As we take you till 10 o'clock, Carmichael Dave off today and tomorrow. He's going to do a couple of shows. He's had to go to London, and then ultimately, I think he said he's got a second part of his trip in New York, so we may have him for a couple of shows next week. We'll sort it all out. But he will be back with us. And so we know today and tomorrow for sure. It's just us two here with you. And Sam Amick joining us at 8. Thanks again to Kelly Brothers. And a reminder, as always, if you ever miss any part of the show, you can always go back and watch it on YouTube when it's posted later in the day on our podcast page on sacktownsports.com. But if you're at YouTube, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. We're trying to grow all of our platforms. And we appreciate all the feedback we get, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook or different things that we still have out there, our text line and the YouTube chat. All of you out there, thank you. I don't know if we say that enough, but we do thank you for being regulars here, we know you take time out of your day. I've run into people that say, I only get to hear this segment at one point at a certain time of day, or I listen to the entire show. However you do it, we're glad you're here. And whether it's every day, a couple days a week, we appreciate it. And thank you. Thank you very much. Yesterday, the Sacramento Kings made some news. Actually, Chris, you were the one that dropped the news on me. I was doing, I forget what I was into yesterday. Oh, I had a conference call and came out, and you're like, what was your shooter? And I'm like, Chris, what are you doing? And you kept going, shooter. I'm like, okay, I need a little more context. You're like, Dougie McBuckets. The Kings got Doug McDermott. I'm like, wait, what? And you went, shooter.
What's bad is like okay, where's the joke here?
Yes. And I'm thinking, all right, you've said it enough. I mean, I think he's being real. And then that was in fact true. The Kings have acquired Doug McDermott. And when the Kings roster spot became available with the trade the other day of Jalen McDaniels and a pick to the Spurs, a lot of people were speculating, what else could this be? Is this the sign? There's a couple people reporting the Kings are still very interested in Zach LaVine and Brandon Ingram, names like that. And they may be. I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know for certain. But what else were they going to do? And what I find very, very interesting is kind of the dynamic where a lot of people have landed, at least that I'll see on our text line, and I'll get on communication through different social media platforms, talking with Dave, talking with people that, that cover this team. I think the Kings need more defense. I think the Kings need more size. I think, and yes, probably yes to all of that. What is interesting is I feel like the Sacramento front office is always leaning towards skillful players, versatile players, shooting as kind of more of the team's DNA. I'm not saying that's entirely wrong, but I feel like we're working on two different concepts, or the people that want something. And my stance on that had been, and I know I told Dave this was, and he's one that really wants to see more defense. Do you have to get defensive players to get more defense, I guess would be kind of the theoretical, bigger concept question. Because I think some teams have just gotten better defensively. I saw a stat, I think it was Minnesota, the Timberwolves over the 4 years of Chris Finch have gone from like 29th to 20th to like 16th or 18th or whatever, 13th to 1st. Now, does it help that they got Rudy Gobert? Yeah, but they were moving up already. So is it a coach core concept demand? Sure, it would help if you have better defensive players, but I have also wondered if the Kings got a great, like what would be great, considered a great backup big, defensive big. Would that player play? I mean, that's an honest question. It's like, would they play, or if they had another skillful, smaller player, like a 4, like a Trey Lyles or McDermott, or a, someone that has good skill that can do more offense, would that player play as a priority? Like, we get a sprinkling of the Davion Mitchell types, the Keon Ellis types, these defensive guards. I don't feel like we've seen a lot of them in the front court, and maybe the Kings haven't had them, but if they did, it makes you wonder, would they play? And I think on their talent level, their best players are a lot of their offensive players, but you just need to demand them and need out of them to be better defensively. And I think inherently they should be better defensively because of the amount of time they've played together. It doesn't mean that's going to be perfect. I'm not saying they're going to be a top 5 defense, but part of defense is the communication, reps, being together, knowing where everybody is, knowing strengths, weaknesses, how to cover for one another. And the more games you've been in, and this group has played a lot of games together. Yeah, they're changing out a piece here and there, but they played a lot of games together. So how does Doug McDermott fit into this mix? Well, I know when the spot became available, I saw, like everyone else, people mention who they worked out a while ago, Jay Crowder. Me personally, not as big a fan. I think I would have been more pro Jay Crowder about 3 years ago. Robert Covington's name was mentioned. I said, yeah, I could see that as a help for sure. I personally do like Doug McDermott, but I don't think he's checking some of the boxes of that camp where they're going, oh, good, defense, perimeter, maybe some front court. No, he can shoot. And I can already hear people, well, that's duplication. They've got other people that can shoot. Yes, I think statistically, and I could be wrong on this, I know he's hit almost 1,000 threes, which I believe, that's probably the most on the team. Career-wise, now he's had a long career. He's been around, but he's primarily been a bench player. He started probably, 60 to 70 games in his career, so he could be a starter if need be. Oh, he started 94 games. There we go. I'm looking at his basketball reference page here. He's not a high-volume scorer, but he's had a couple of seasons where he averaged double figures as a bench player. And that's nice. Consistency, spreading the floor. Look, this team, I think if you look at them offensively, and really a lot of teams in the league, what they want is a floor that's spread out and a free-form offense. I think he'll fit into that part just fine. Now it also then falls back into, man, they got some good offensive players, but can they stop people on the other end? Yeah, he's kind of in that realm to me. But I think that becomes back to coaching, expectations. The greatest motivator of all time, as we know, it's undefeated, is the bench. If you're not defending, you're not playing. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it, that there's enough people that should be competing for minutes that there can be an expectation that, like, hey, this player's scoring a little bit more, but I'm getting more defensively out of this player. That's a way that the team can lean. I mean, that's the way the coaching staff and Mike Brown can lean if he wants to. So I think just adding more overall talent is a good thing for this team. How they'll truly incorporate it, and Doug McDermott, I don't know, but I could see him being in the rotation on that bench as a bench shooter. And so we'll see as it develops, as the rest of that bench gets healthier, because it's not all the way there yet. But I did like the signing. I'm not, it's not really changing any win total, plus minus any which direction, but I think that helped. I think it's going to help kind of round out that bench a little more, but it has not filled all of the holes by any means of what we had been talking about as far as front court size, overall size, really, and maybe some defensive concerns. All right, we'll ask Sam Amick about that a little bit more, and a lot more with Sam, because the NBA is about to begin. So great to have him back. He'll join us every Thursday at 8, and he's back for his first edition of the new season. Sam Amick from The Athletic next.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Hey, Dad, Mom wants pizza for dinner. You want to run out?
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday and out the door, a cool start this morning. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds for the afternoon. Temperatures slightly cooler today with highs in the mid-70s. Expect gusty north winds to develop late this afternoon. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Your water heater. Old, rusty, forgotten. We hardly ever even think about them until there's no hot water. Right now, get incredible rebates up to $3,000 off and financing available for as little as $40 a month. Leave it to Bonnie to crank up the heat.
O'Reilly.
Need a little help? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Need advice? We've got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day. and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Get ready for Sky River Casino's $1 million Mega Spin, where every play could lead to $100K. Earn entries playing your favorite slots and table games for a chance to spin the wheel and win up to $100,000 cash. Snag a free daily entry at our promo kiosk. Plus, score 100 bonus entries every Tuesday and Friday. The thrill begins Saturday starting October 5th through December 21st for a chance to spin your way to $100K. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at the AEWay.com for an instant quote. That's the AEWay.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Check out Sacramento State football this Saturday, 6 p.m. versus Weber State.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
As we begin the 8 o'clock hour Thursday, make sure you note this date and time down each and every week because Sam Amick is back. It's great to have Sam with us from The Athletic, talking a lot of NBA basketball over the next couple of months. And he is returning with us. Jason Ross here. No Carmichael Dave today. Christopher Lott as well. Sam, welcome back. How are you?
Jason, Chris, what's up, gentlemen? Good to see you, although I did get to see you recently. But
yes.
Good to be here, brother.
Down in San Francisco. Yeah, I know you didn't get much of a break. We talked during the Olympics, which really wasn't that long ago, and the little fallout after that. But any time away for you to – I know you got a little trip in there, but you get a chance to relax a little bit?
Yeah, I did fine. No complaints. We always have a funny rhythm around this household where I've got a wife who's a teacher. And so the second that I get freed up schedule wise, she's back teaching. The boys are back at school. So it's like, you know, a big old house to myself, which is kind of nice for a couple weeks. And then you start getting stir crazy.
Yeah.
So, you know, the last couple of weeks getting out to preseason games and doing different events and seeing people like yourself, you know, I'm ready to roll. It's good stuff.
Are you adjusting okay with the oldest off at school now?
Don't bring up some tough topics, Jason.
I'm trying to get you emotional before we get onto our topics.
I texted him yesterday something and he didn't respond for 10 hours. And I told him how sad that made me. That's my new life.
Yeah.
But yes, he's at Sonoma State having a great time.
Good, as he should. Well, we appreciate that. We thank you for joining us, Sam. Each and every Thursday, reminder again, at 8 o'clock, we'll have Sam back. Sam, Kings made some news yesterday, getting Doug McDermott. He will be added to that bench somewhere, somehow, some way. And you've seen the Kings play a couple of times, and I brought this up earlier in the show, that I kind of have a pretty high outlook, I think, going into the year on the Kings, and generally a preseason doesn't change that much. But for whatever reason, this preseason kind of has for me a little bit. I haven't really loved the way they played, but I don't know. I'm just your curious overall thought, and maybe first start with the McDermott move and just what you've seen from the Kings in the preseason games you've seen them play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Now, admittedly, I haven't watched incredibly closely all 4 preseason games, but I had this conversation with my friend and colleague Anthony Slater yesterday about the Kings. Just, in my experience, preseason doesn't matter, but whenever there's an 0-4 and 0-5, or even a 5-0 or a 4-0, like it means a little bit. It does give you a sense. So, I'm curious, to be honest. The only opinion that really matters on that topic is Mike Brown's. Is how is he feeling? In the front office too. How are they feeling about the substance of the preseason? The McDermott move is certainly interesting. That trade sending McDaniels to San Antonio, he hadn't worked out. They needed to free up the spot and the time, and we're concerned about shooting. That's my understanding. Just wanted more depth on that front. That's something that Doug obviously does, but it's funny because like Anthony and I are writing a story that I think will be out in the morning on the Kings, just kind of looking at their season. And it's, mostly pretty positive story talking about how much they did in the offseason, but it's another team like so many where it's on paper. So the preseason kind of makes you go, oh boy, like, is this going to work? Because I think to me, the stakes are, fairly significant this year, and they really need this to work.
Yeah, so I'd be curious. I know without giving up the entirety of the story, I want everybody to read what you and Anthony are putting together on The Athletic. You kind of gave us a little lean on what the angle is, but where are you guys kind of going with that piece?
We enjoyed, we kind of talked to the principal core players, Domas, Fox, DeRozan, briefly with Malik Monk, and just kind of tried to take a vibe check, I guess, and get their respective visions on how it's going, and reflecting a bit on the summer. There's a fair amount of DeRozan stuff in there, looking a little bit deeper at kind of how that deal came together, and the part that Fox played in the recruitment, and some lighthearted stuff with Domas, trying to play a part in the recruitment and dropping the ball a little bit. Thankfully, it didn't matter. That's the teaser, I guess. So, and then the elephant in the room, certainly, that is, part of it is analysis wise, is De'Aaron Fox and his decision not to sign that extension. So that, it's a very natural thing in the NBA, a guy of that age and this talent level, to keep his options open. But, as is the case with every team that faces that dynamic, like it means that the program needs to keep going in the right direction in order for things to be in a good place.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am, Sam, with that. Because with De'Aaron, I think it makes financial sense. I think it probably makes a basketball decision sense too, where, look, I right now my gut's telling me De'Aaron has every intention to be back here, but things don't always go right. What if it is not the year that everyone had hoped? And I don't know where he ultimately wants his career to go, but that does give him some options. So I'm still looking as De'Aaron as a longtime King, but I think financially and probably basketball-wise put some pressure on the organization, but it's probably the right idea, don't you think, from his sake?
Yeah, I do. And it's funny too, because I think what I not discovered, but got reminded of in the course of talking to these guys, was that locally, and you and I have been here a long time, you could look at the last 2 years and in a historical context standpoint, and this is kind of mind-blowing, talk about the fact that these 2 winning records, these 2 winning seasons, they represent 2 out of the 10 total since the Kings came to Sacramento in '85. So, for those of us who look at things in that kind of context, you kind of go, man, like, even with the playoff absence last year, like, that's significant. This team is doing things that Kings teams did not often do. But the players on the team really do not care about that history, and I don't blame them. Like, if you're any of these guys, you're going, okay, that's cute, but I don't want to barely make the playoffs. I certainly don't want to miss the playoffs. I want to make a mark in the playoffs. And, I think in general, the Kings are in an interesting place right now because they still have some of that residue from the hype of the initial Beam Team squad, right? Where they got national attention and they had this incredibly exciting series with the Warriors. That continues through last year, the play-in game against the Warriors. They knocked them off, fall against the Pelicans. And the spotlight, I guess, I find the spotlight around the Kings very interesting because, you've got De'Aaron doing a behind the scenes access show I saw it on Hulu, but I forget which production company did it. I think it was called Clutch, kind of previewing the season. You had Domas as part of the Netflix Starting Five show, the documentary where, they're only picking 5 players and he's one. So my point being that like success, if they had more of it, then that spotlight gets bigger. Everybody gets happy. Everybody signs every contract. You know what I mean? If you stagnate, then I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. And, back to what you were starting with, kind of their off season, it ended up feeling like it was a huge boost because there was a mystery whether or not Malik would come back. He decided to come back. Landing DeRozan was a bit of a surprise. The Carter part in the draft, they have to wait and see what he has. Extending Mike Brown, it felt like a lot of things lined up to just launch them into the season. And then here they are in the preseason. Again, it's not going to dictate their year, but I don't feel like they've captured what seemed to be some nice offseason momentum, at least to this point.
Yeah, I agree. Although I don't think Slater would mind me sharing this. He made an interesting point when the Kings played the Warriors however many nights ago in San Francisco. This is where preseason is really hard to evaluate. And I was at that game. That in terms of like starters against starters,
right?
So the sense he got from the Warriors side was like they essentially felt like they got beat that night. So then when you get into the second half and you've got guys playing who would never be there in the regular season, you can't focus too much on the final result. I guess to tie a bow on your question about the story, like the vibe check is very good. These guys, man, like Sabonis absolutely raving about DeRozan, certainly the same with Fox. It's a really fascinating time because they have more things going well for them, than they have in quite some time. But it comes, it's the old Spider-Man line about, with great power comes great expectation. And that's kind of where they're at right now, I think.
So on that note, Sam, as we're a few days away from the start of the regular season, Kings begin a week from today. I feel like the West is as crowded as it's ever been, but it may shake out a little bit differently. Just look, I'm not going to hold you to this because you got to play a whole season and things change. But where do you feel like going into the year the Kings kind of belong in that pack?
I'm standing on my stance and my framing that this is a very soft, cold take, is that they are in that massive pack between 5 and 12, basically, that legitimately could be on one end of the spectrum or the other. The only question was post Karl Anthony Towns trade in Minnesota that I still see the T-Wolves as a top 4 team. I do. I we'll see how it looks with Julius Randle and DiVincenzo, but so that 4 would be OKC, Minnesota, Dallas, and Denver. And then from there, I mean, it's just wide open. I mean, even just look at the last 2 years. Forget about the fact that the Kings were 3rd in the West and then 9th in the West. They won 48 games and then they won 46. It really shows that, the margin for error is small. Domas in the story talks about, like everybody knows, like the frustration that came with losing to so many bad teams last year. That was a difference maker in their year. So I think they'll be in the mix, but to your initial point and your initial concern about the preseason, that lack of margin for error, I think, is why you look at them and think like, oh, you better be sharp right out of the gate. You can't take 2 weeks to get going.
Yeah. Talking with Sam Amick from The Athletic, you brought up one of the bigger moves that happened, and it was just a few weeks ago. The T-Wolves and Knicks working out a trade, 2 All-Stars involved in here. DiVincenzo also joins Randall coming to Minnesota. And even since, they've played a preseason game which had fireworks with DiVincenzo and Rick Brunson. I saw that trade and I honestly didn't know who, not that we have to have a winner, but I went, I don't know. I don't know if they got better, got worse. That's kind of was my initial reaction. What was your thought on the trade, really from both sides, from the Knicks and from the T-Wolves?
I like it for both. On the T-Wolves side, I certainly understand people who say, why now? Like, give this group one more year to try to run it back. They look like they could actually, if not win the title, be an NBA Finals team last year. And then obviously, after knocking Denver off, weren't able to get the job done against Dallas. but the financials of their situation were just, staring them right in the face. And if you canvass the entire NBA, I don't know that you could find, in terms of combination of talent, skill set, and contract, I don't know that you could find a better fit than Julius Randle, where you achieve two things. You relieve that pressure of Karl Anthony Towns' contract, which has, several years left and massive money. And you get a player in Julius Randle who can help you. He's not as good as Cat, different style that does cause some concerns, but you don't fall off that much basketball wise. And whether Randle is part of the future or not, you have fixed that contract problem that you had before. That was a massive endorsement for Naz Reid, who's going to play a much bigger role with Minnesota. Anthony Edwards obviously has to elevate. So I understood it for Minnesota. And I think ultimately we're going to look at that as a pretty savvy move. With the Knicks, I mean, I get it, but you talk about dicey and pressure and high stakes, like they are all in. They have gone from being a team that was plucky and fun and, charismatic and chemistry for days, but also that had optionality contract wise, perhaps more than anybody in the NBA, to, doing the Mikal Bridges deal, doing this deal. And lo and behold, their asset cupboard is pretty dry now. They have put all their chips in, and, it needs to work. Now, again, I like it. The shooting that he's going to provide, the space for Brunson, losing DiVincenzo is a big deal. People, that's still a pain point for Kings fans, because the player that Dante became after his Sacramento stop, he's one of the best 3-point shooters in the game, and he plays defense. He's a heck of a competitor. You even saw that with his little, dust up with Rick Brunson. He gets after it. So I think it's a thumbs up for both sides, and I'm curious to see how they look.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Knicks part. I mean, I get why they did it. I think it has potential to reap them great rewards, but they were fun. The Villanova Knicks, that story, they were so likable last year, and I can feel, Sam, that market, that area, if they come up short, right or wrong, I feel like a lot of the blame will go to Towns, and I don't even know if that's going to be fair, but I think that's the way it may go if they come up short.
That's fair, but I think Towns and Randle both, they have one thing in common from a like, I keep going back to the vibe word, but like from a vibe standpoint, Towns was a massive, just a phenomenal team player last year, where he was willing to completely yield to Anthony Edwards. And you just could tell that, like, even though he did it, I'm sure in the back of his mind, he's like, man, I was the guy who was here first. I was the franchise centerpiece. And to me, if I was in their front office, I would be careful to not test the limits of that. So I think another year, are those vibes going to remain as Cat looks at his own future and thinks to himself, I need to assert myself? I just don't know if that part of their kind of formula was going to remain in Minnesota. And the thing that I think he has that in common with Julius Randle, because Julius being out as long as he was last year, coming back to a new world where Jalen Brunson was the man, in the same way that Cat had to accept Anthony Edwards being the man. I think Julius and that dynamic was something that needed to be solved. So Cat and Julius both getting fresh starts, and Cat in particular in the Big Apple. And to your point, though, now it's like, can he maximize it? Can he avoid? I mean, he's a sweet guy. He's a goofy guy, though, right? So like the New York media, like, is he going to say stuff that winds up on the back page of the New York Post every other day because he can't help himself? I mean, I'm with you. It's worth watching, the Cat NYC experience. But again, I do understand it.
Sam, pretty cool moment last night in the preseason. It's been a long time coming for him, and maybe a time that Lonzo Ball didn't think would happen, but back on the court, that guy's been working hard. There was a lot of thought that he may never play again.
Right.
Pretty cool to see that happen in the ovation. And, he's just trying to get his career going again.
No, I thought it was neat. I watched, did you see the video of the team giving him the game ball post game?
Yeah.
And it just hit me because, like, first of all, we're guilty in the media of, like, you cover these guys, you write a few things, and if you don't really know them, and Lonzo's a guy I don't really know, then you just keep it moving, right? Well, it's like, man, like, we spent like a full year obviously writing in great detail about Lonzo with the Lakers and the UCLA connection and Magic Johnson taking him and the pressure. And he was supposed to be like, the torch bearer for the next Lakers era. And you go from all that hype and all that pressure and LeVar and all those things that seem so kind of far away at this point. And then the kind of reality of sports hits in, and he runs into this absolutely brutal stretch of health problems. I thought it was neat on the back end of that to see all the sincerity in that Bulls locker room. For anybody who didn't see it, Kobe White takes the game ball and gives a nice speech about how, regardless of the result, this ball was coming to you, Lonzo, tonight, and giving him love. Zach LaVine doing the same thing. And this is a Bulls team that, as we know, has a bunch of players who are like, they know they're on their way out at some point. Like, that is a team in transition. And even in that environment, I thought it was neat for them to kind of slow down and give Lonzo his flowers and give him love. That was pretty cool.
I know, reading your stuff, you spent some time recently in Southern California with the Bucks, with Milwaukee. This is an intriguing team too, because around a year ago at this time, you get Lillard, the expectations through the roof, and they fell flat. So now and added Doc during the year. So between Doc, you talk to him, to Giannis, to Lillard. Let's go back to that vibe board. What's the vibe with the Bucks?
First of all, like the highlight of my preseason, I always have to like target a certain training camp, and I'm lucky enough to be able to figure out where I want to go. And admittedly, if you did like a deep dive study, I might wind up in Southern California a pretty fair amount. But like these East Coast teams come West, and for me, it's a chance to get guys away from the pack. And I was pleasantly surprised there was barely any media at Bucks camp. So 2 days of real conversations with them. The top of the story is, I think you probably saw, Jay, I tried my best to make sure I got the tone right, because it was a little delicate. Like I very directly and pointedly had asked Giannis and talked to Giannis about the hypothetical question of what if this doesn't go well? And to his credit, he indulged me. And I even was transparent. I said, listen, I have talked to other teams that would love to see you guys fall on your face, because they're hoping that you raise your hand and say, get me out of Milwaukee. And they're hoping a guy like Damian Lillard might be available and they break the whole thing up. And he, this talk about uncomfortable, as we're talking, a staff member walks by and he literally grabs this poor guy by the shoulder, brings him into the conversation, and turns the interview towards him and says, if we lose this year, is it in the back of your mind that you might get fired? And he did find a way to land the plane in the sense that, like, his point that he then went on to make is, I'm using this guy as an example. Like, this is pro sports. Everybody in this room understands the deal. And he just decided not to run from it. He even had a line that has certainly made the rounds on the internet about how, if we don't win this year, I might get traded. It does. I mean, it's not necessarily, do I think Giannis is going to be on the move? Probably not. But it's an inflection point. If they don't do anything of substance, do I think Damian Lillard is going to want to hang in Milwaukee beyond this season? Probably not. John Horst, their GM, had eyes on the Detroit Pistons job in this past summer, and is the guy on record as having traded for Damian Lillard and hired Adrian Griffin and firing him 43 games in. Like, it's been a little messy lately. So, if it doesn't work, I think change of some sort is coming in Milwaukee. But for me, they're one of those teams of, like, if you squint hard enough, I can see it. They are still very talented, and their messaging was very positive. Giannis is in a good place. He talked about the Olympics kind of reviving his competitive spirit. Damian has gone through a divorce and talked about his kids and how he now this season knows when he's going to see them, which was not the case last year, and the peace of mind that comes with that. And then, Doc is trying to go back to the old Celtics days where he finds a way to connect all of his guys and put a championship team together. So we'll see if they can do it.
You guys, as The Athletic, had some significant news. How big of a deal is it for you guys to lose Shams?
Man, first you go to like the kid going to college, then you got to go to Shams leaving me.
I'm just bringing all the heartstrings here.
No, I mean, I love and respect Shams. Fantastic coworker. I'm happy for him. Definitely sad to see him go. It was funny being part of the process. I felt like a member of a front office that was, like trying to land a free agent, where we were doing everything we could to change his mind and get him to stay. But he's very good at what he does. Scoop master to the extreme. And a guy who, honestly, my favorite part of the Shams experience at the Athletic is, to his credit, he really cared about getting better as a writer and diving in deeper to storytelling and being part of stories that go beyond the tweets, and information and insight, and combining the reporting with the writing. That's something that we had kind of teamed up on quite a bit together. So it is very, very strange to see. I mean, even beyond Shams, the media landscape right now is, we could do a whole visit about that, obviously, Jay. But it's weird to see him on the ESPN shows, knowing that obviously when he was with us, it's competition. So like that's who we were, constantly kind of trying to beat. So that's the business, and I wish him well for sure.
Yeah. All right. Lastly for you, Sam, and we do appreciate having you back with us each and every Thursday at 8. Kings play tonight. They're in LA against the Clippers, Intuit Dome. That looks like just an amazing place. But more of a Clippers question, I guess. They're different, and I don't know. Different is better for them, worse? What do you think the Clippers' outlook will be?
It's not good. I really don't think it's good at all. I saw their arena a couple weeks ago for the first time. It's very nice. It's a little strange, just like a big spaceship dropped in the middle of Inglewood.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I need to continue to learn more about why they did what they did this summer, because to me, if you're going to bet on Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden, then you have to also bet on Paul George. And I understand that all those contracts were going to put him into the second apron, and that is incredibly restrictive. And they decided that they just didn't want to do that. But in lieu of that, you have this years-long project to get the stadium, the arena up and running. And for me, if you're Steve Ballmer, to go into it, with a team that is, starting the season on the razor's edge from a competitive standpoint, because Kawhi Leonard is having issues again and is out, putting that kind of a burden on James Harden at this stage of his career is too much. And then the rest of the roster, Zubac is a core piece, but rest of the roster for the most part feels like guys that are kind of competing for their next job. Terrence Mann's certainly part of the program, but we'll see. I had them in that 5 to 12 group that we talked about earlier. But I can certainly see a world where, based on health, they fall even farther behind that.
It'll be fun to see how this all goes. I'm glad it's the beginning. Sam, we always appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you again soon, and look forward to talking to you next week.
Thanks, Jay. Be good, brother.
Thank you. That is the great Sam Amick. Check out all his work at The Athletic. He's constantly writing, covering all these teams that you love, and he's got that piece on the Kings coming up. So make sure you check him and Anthony Slater out. As Sam said, that might be out tomorrow. All right, break time for us. When we come back, more to get to, including 4 down territory. We got Thursday Night Football tonight. We'll have that and more next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
There's no need to be scared of auto maintenance this October. Your local Jiffy Lube has just the treats you need without the tricks, like fast oil changes or wiper blades for the upcoming rainy season. Serving greater Sacramento area customers since 1984 with over 30 convenient locations to choose from. Open daily, early at 7:30 and open past 6 p.m. at most locations. Just visit jiffylube.com to find a location near you and valuable coupons to save money too.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills that features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. all made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's October does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all four arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Hey, October's already heating up on the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. Enjoy family fun at Dave's Pumpkin Patch in West Sacramento all month long. Pick your perfect pumpkin, navigate the corn maze, jump on a massive jumping pillow, and create unforgettable memories for the kids. On October 20th, don't miss Renee Vaca at the Crest Theater for a night of laughs and entertainment. And mark your calendar for Sinners and Saints, the region's best Halloween party on October 26th at the venue at Thunder Valley, complete with a $5,000 costume contest. It's the most spooktacular event of the season. Looking ahead into November, join us for Legends of Motown at the venue at Thunder Valley November 23rd, bringing you the classic hits that defined a generation. And you're not going to want to miss the Jersey Boys Midtown Men Holiday Show December 8th, also at the venue at Thunder Valley. It's going to be a night filled with festive cheer and old school classics. And stay tuned to Sacktown Sports for all your live event updates and your chance to win tickets.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper. Drapes for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now is the time to buy or lease a Mercedes-Benz van for sale. They have Sprinter vans. You could turn it into a worker cargo van, a worker passenger van, or just a plain old passenger van. They are fully customizable. And one of the things I love about their Sprinter vans, because trust me, I had a chance to check them out myself. I hopped in the Sprinter van, and you guys know I'm a big guy, right? Well, I was able to stand up head to toe and fit perfectly. So if you're interested in the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van for your business or just your personal needs, now is the time to head down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They can help you find the configuration that best suits your needs. Plus, you can take advantage of the huge tax breaks before year's end. Take the short drive down I-5 or go online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them your boy Drape sent you.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Check out Sacramento State football this Saturday, 6 p.m. versus
only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Thanks again to Sam Amick. Always love talking to Sam. Great info, great insight, intel, all of the above.
I know I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here.
Me too, Sam. We all are. Just can't help it. Great work. Sam will join us each and every Thursday. He's back with us on Thursdays at 8 o'clock. All right. It is that time to check in on the National Football League. Let's do it. Little 4-down territory. Chris Verlaud. Let's start with, first down.
Thursday night football in the night. Broncos at Saints. Who you got?
Wait, what was Dave's thing with what if they changed the downs and had 6th and 3rd? What? Remember, it was some weird.
It should be for the series.
The whole series.
Yes.
How many plays?
Yes. So what it would tell you, somebody 7th and 3.
No. Who do I got tonight?
It is fun that Dave likes to throw his ideas out there and then is immediately shown why it's a bad idea.
Yeah. Like the Rays Stadium yesterday. Dave, by the way, will be back with us next week. Let's see. I'm going to go with the Broncos. I don't know. The Saints have some injuries going on, several injuries, actually. I know at the receiver quarterback position, they've got off to that great start, but they've been struggling. Sean Payton, wants to win this game. So, yeah, give me the Broncos in tonight's matchup between the Broncos and the Saints. All right, let's go to second down.
Sean Payton will be back in New Orleans. How will he be received?
It's funny, I saw a clip that was circulating on social media from back in summer when Cam Jordan was being asked about Sean Payton. He's like, oh, no, we've circled that date. We know what it is. But he loves him. Look, that's the guy that brought them a championship. I think he's going to be received well. Sean Payton was the greatest coach they ever had there. So I think he's going to get a nice ovation or a reception or just, I don't know what else you do for a coach. I don't even know that you can tell that they're cheering for him maybe when he first comes out of the field. But other than that, I think they'll just move on with the game. And, of course, the Saints want to win. They need a win. But I think he's going to be received well. I think he should be received well. He's their best coach they'd ever had and took them to a Super Bowl. So there you go. Let's go to third down.
If the 49ers beat the Chiefs this week, big deal or no big deal?
I'm going to say big deal, but not in the sense of the actual victory over the Chiefs and that, they finally, conquered them. They lost to them twice in the Super Bowl. It would be less about that. It would be about, okay, this was a very good team that they're playing, a team that has been rolling, and a team that kind of helps establish the Niners back into that area of where we think they should be as one of the better teams in the NFL. So that's where I would say it's a big deal, not per se that, they finally beat the Chiefs, because to me, the Niners aren't taking this game to the same extent that they did the Eagles game a year ago. That's what we learned yesterday from Emil. I think even Matt Barrows earlier in the week shared that with us. And I think we'll hear more of the same tomorrow when Greg Papa joins us. That Eagles game a year ago, they had circled, they had talked about, they probably, in my mind, talked about the Eagles too much. But when they got the Eagles again, they demolished them. It doesn't matter if the Niners win by 30, if they win by 1. If they win, though, I think it is a big deal in the sense that, like I said, gets them back over 500, probably establishes them as the team to beat, at least in the NFC West, and then can start to move them up the ladder of teams to beat in the NFC overall and the NFL. So I would give the Chiefs their first all those things, right? So I think that's what would make it a big deal, not per se of shaking off Super Bowl demons like that. All right, let's go to fourth down.
The last rookie MVP was Jim Brown in 1957. What chance do you give Jaden Daniels to take home that honor?
Well, right now, if you look at the, third of the season, he is in the top 5 in MVP rankings. He's had a really good start. So has the team. He's been a great story. But it's going to take an amazing amount of work for him. One, the team needs to continue to win at this rate, maybe even at a higher rate. He has to continue to have great stats. He still is a rookie. Rookies have their struggles, and I still anticipate some of that coming up. And he just has to be better than guys like Mahomes, guys like Josh Allen, guys like Lamar Jackson. And I wouldn't say he's been better than he's been just as good, but that's going to be tough to take those guys away from a title like that. And whoever else may develop, Brock Purdy could still get there or someone else as the season goes along. So I would say the chances are pretty small, but the fact that Jaden Daniels is right now, even in the conversation, is actually kind of stunning. He has been great. He has been everything that Washington could have wanted and more, and he's just getting started. I'm anxious to see where his career will continue to take him. And they, to me, have been one of the pleasant surprises of the NFL season. There always are surprises, and generally when you find out a team starting a rookie quarterback with not a lot of stuff around them going in, you're thinking, well, it's going to be a long year, but they got to take their lumps. It hasn't been that way. Washington's been a very good offense, and they've been a good story, and a lot of that has been because of Jaden Daniels. So, but the overall question, the spirit of the question, I don't give him much of a % chance, but the fact that we're even talking about him is a testament to what he's done. So there you go. Good for him. That is 4 down territory. But yeah, again, tonight, Thursday night football is here. And
unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, another week, Chris. What is it? Oh, can you believe it? It's week 7 already. I mean, and here's another thing. Wow, where am I?
It's going by.
Yeah, it's going by week. Where does the time go? But yeah, week 7 tonight. Broncos, Saints. But you won't be able to hear it here tonight because we have Kings basketball tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about Kings basketball.
Crank up the mids.
We've got the addition of Dougie McBuckets. Doug McDermott is a new king. We have who's hot, who's not. And we go streaking. How do we do on our picks in yesterday's one baseball playoff game? Today, there's 2 games to choose from. We'll see what our selections will be. We do have a submission from Dave for that as well. We will do all that when we return here on Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Meta Chevy Silverado Blowout is on with $12,750 off MSRP. Every new 2024 Silverado Half-Ton LT in stock after rebate. Or choose $12,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 Silverado Half-Ton RST in stock after rebate. Exclusively at Meta Chevy at MetaChevy.com. Sacramento's Silverado headquarters. Whatever Silverado you choose, you'll save thousands at Meta Chevy. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer. Ends 10/31/24.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcasts? Good news! Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things Uninterrupted at Amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to Amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real-person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
O'Reilly.
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts in West Sacramento and Town Center Plaza next to Nugget Markets now through October 29th for the Customer Appreciation Day sale. You'll get 2 times over rewards points on select purchases. Plus, pick up 5 quarts of any Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil and receive a $10 gift card after rebate. And buy one, get one free Coca-Cola products at your Town Center Plaza, O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Power Days?
Save up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesmen. Plus, with over 400 new Ram trucks available, you're sure to find that truck you need at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center.
That is some of the best savings you've had all year, Chad.
Yep, and you won't find better deals on more Ram trucks than at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. There's a reason we continue to be one of the biggest Ram dealers in the country, with numerous customer service awards, including the very prestigious Walter P. Chrysler Award, which means we are in the top 1% of dealers in the nation. Once you buy from Hoblet, you won't buy anywhere else.
Don't miss the savings at Hoblet. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period.
15,000 total net savings after 8,500 factory rebates and 6,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 Hoblet Select inventory coupons, 2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance, must have qualifying trade-in, and 1,500 commercial bonus cash. Must have proof of business ownership. At least 5 of the net savings. Coupons available while supplies last. See dealer for details.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who? It's hot.
Shohei Ohtani.
Uh-huh.
With runners on base in this postseason, Ohtani is 7 of 9 with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs with men on base. Just this postseason.
Just this postseason. And that's weird. He's batting 226 overall. No. On other items. But with people in scoring position.
Or people on base.
On base. And scoring position, too.
And scoring position.
He is crushing it. I like Shohei's, he's been getting into the celebrations a little bit better. Not over the top, but that one he hit against the Padres, he great scream yesterday, just points right to the dugout.
Yesterday, that was just crushed.
It was. And when he hit it, I actually thought it was going to be foul. I'm like, oh, and then you just where's that?
I think
landing?
it was because you thought, because I thought it was going to be foul too, because it's one of those where you see it that high up.
Yeah.
And then it just starts turning, and then it's in the lower level. This one just stopped in the third deck.
Yes, it did. It's wait, is that leaving the stadium? My God. Well, I think I have a hint, but we know Shohei Ohtani is hot. Chris, do tell, who's not?
Shohei Ohtani.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
Shohei Ohtani, with the bases empty in the playoffs, is 0 of 22.
Woof.
He is hitless when there is nobody on base.
Okay, I've never been a baseball manager, but let's move him out of the lead spot. Now, I know that happens his first at-bat, but I don't know. He's got some people to drive in.
I'm the opposing manager.
Yeah.
Hey, I know there's players on base. Maybe go from the windup.
Exactly. This seems to be bothering him. It's his kryptonite. I'm glad he homered. I'm glad he's getting. Look, the guy doesn't need any more shine. He's just an absolutely amazing player. That was actually a funny concept that Kelly said during his segment, Kelly Brothers Good at Business. Could you imagine if it is the Dodgers and Yankees, but even if it's Dodgers and Guardians, and Shohei closes out Game 7 from the mound?
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I mean, he's throwing. He's been throwing from the mound. I don't think they're going to do that, but just shows how skillful and how great he is.
How would you feel if this series went 7 games?
This one with the Mets?
Yeah, but none of the games are close like they have been.
I know. It's weird. I mean, would it be a good series?
I guess there was a tiny bit of drama in game 2, but it wasn't.
Yeah. But the Mets jumped on him so much, and it's maybe there's a chance. But yesterday, when it was 4-0, I still thought, well, if the Mets can do something, and then it's
they had some chances.
Then Shohei hit the bomb. You're like, okay, that's it. That's over.
I just went click.
Today, we got a couple of baseball games. We'll tell you more about that in the next hour. Also, Niners at 9. And the ESPN list of top 100 NBA players. They finally got to the top 10. We had the 4 Kings. Is it 4? No, 5 Kings in the top 100 between Fox, Sabonis, Murray, Monk, and DeRozan. But who's in the actual top 10? We'll talk about that
Is
order.
Trey going to make it in there?
Trey Lyles?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
wasn't mentioned.
He was number 2. Oh, spoiler. Sorry. And McDermott is actually number 7.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Good
So the
pickup.
bench is really flourishing. All right. Well, let's do it, Chris. Let's go. Streaking.
Safe or out?
Nope.
It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches.
Let's
Swings.
go
or out.
streaking.
Wait, I don't know why this. I'm going to go crazy with this thing. It's like playing out of the wrong selector. All
Really?
right, let's try this again.
Let's go streaking.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking. We're streaking. To recap, Carmichael Dave was at a streak of 1. I was at a streak of 1. Chris at a streak of 4 going into yesterday. I see our selections. We mentioned the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani, how hot and not hot he is. Dodgers blew out the Mets 8-0. Dodgers got 10 hits. The 3 of us all took Mets. The Mets got 4 hits. Don't like our chances. Carmichael Dave took Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso got up 4 times. Pete Alonso struck out twice, but his other 2 plate appearances, no hits.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt!
Ouch. I took Brandon Nimmo. Remember, the Mets only got 4 hits. He got up 3 times. He walked once, struck out once. He got a hit. All right. I'm at 2. The crowd goes wild. Crowd, no? Okay. And then Chris at a streak of 4, all eyes on him, trying to get to 5. He took Mr. Lindor, shortstop. Made a couple of great plays at shortstop yesterday. He got up 4 times.
One I saw was he got thought he hit a home run.
Yes. He struck out twice, so he almost had a home run. So he had 1 more appearance. No, 0 for 4.
Ooh, you suck! Sorry, it's over. It's over now. It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
So I'm at 2, and Chris and Dave, they're more like this. Play.
2, a bouncer, and Rizzo is going to be picked off. He's in the middle between second and third. Hedges now throws to second, on the way to third, back to second, back to third, tagged out, end of inning. Boy, if that wasn't the Yankees, that's what they do, run the bases like drunks. Well, Glaber will lead off the next inning.
Okay. You guys are running around like drunks. Anyway, Chris at 0, Dave at 0. Dave has submitted to us. At first he sent in from London, Ohtani or Judge. And I said, well, they both play. You can pick one. He has selected Shohei Ohtani.
Thought there are some players on base.
I am actually going to take All Rise Aaron Judge today. Chris, who are you going to take?
I'm going to let you take a stab at this.
You are taking, okay, it's one of 2. One of those 2. I'm writing them down just to verify. And I think today you are taking Verdugo.
Nope.
Oh, Iglesias?
Jose Iglesias.
Dang it.
He's my streak starter.
Oh, he's the starter. Okay.
Verdugo is when I've got someone on base.
Yes. When you're rolling, you go to Verdugo. And you know what? They both play again tomorrow, so you got another opportunity. There you go. They're streaking. Man, it's always tough to get these clutch hits when we need them. But you had a nice playoff streak going there for a couple for 4. I think I got up to like 5 or 6 before mine ended. And we'll see if Dave can get going. But Ohtani, Judge, and Iglesias for us today. for the 2 games. So are you going to be able to watch both? Will you be able to check out Yankees Guardians at 2:00?
I'll be able to check that one out, but probably not going to see a lot of the other one because I'm going to Stockton for AEW.
Oh, that's right. Our guy Brian Cage was in here.
He just joined the Callis family.
What does that mean?
He's with the Callis family. He's part of their faction.
Okay.
Looks like he's going to be joining with Lance Archer.
Ooh, Archer, huh?
Yeah.
Related to Sean Archer?
No.
From the movie Face Off?
No.
When they take the face off?
No.
Okay. What? So, like later in the show, we have what to watch. What are you going to be watching for in this event in Stockton tonight, the AEW event?
Well, the big thing has been the Blackpool Combat Club.
What's going on there?
They just took over last night on Dynamite in San Jose, so we'll see if they're still causing problems on Collision and Battle of the Belts.
Ooh,
yes.
Where on the list of dream jobs for you would it be if you could be a storyline writer?
Oh, that would be like
way top. Number 1, maybe?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Okay. Is there a number 3?
I would have to hear it.
Okay. So number 1, though, is what?
Like number 3, I guess, would be like working for Manchester City in some sort of capacity where I can go to all the games.
Okay. So you wouldn't really care.
That would be, but that would be 3.
But that's a distant 3, sounds like. So that's 3. You're working with the club, but you're just like, you could say you're there, you're going to the games, whether you're doing whatever, PR, something.
Let's say I have Dave's job for Manchester City.
Okay.
That's what I want.
So, and you'd be comfortable traveling back. You might just stay there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 3rd, though. Number 2 is to be writer or creator, not content creator, writer of storylines for wrestling.
Yes.
What is the number 1 job for Chris Verlaud on your top 3
I've
job
said it a bunch of times.
dream list? I think I know, but I want you to repeat it.
Host of the Family Feud.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking something. You have said that. Host of the Family Feud is the number 1.
Like, I would want a job as a game show host, but specifically the Family Feud.
Because?
That's the one I think you could play the most with.
Yeah.
That you can make fun of other people.
Where does starring in a horror movie?
Well, that's like a bucket list. That's not something I want to be my job.
What if you were like on a bunch of, like you were a main character in a
and I just die every single time?
Or you don't?
No, I don't think I'm a good actor.
Okay. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be in like a sequence of movies, but like maybe you're the one they're always going, or like,
or I
why
just
is
like
Jamie Lee Curtis always alive? I haven't seen all those Halloweens.
But like I'm the opposite, where I just die in every movie.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's
he's back again, just to die. All right. So Man City is 3rd. Storyline writer for wrestling is 2nd, and host of the Family Feud.
I've come up with like a kind of like, what I would do if I was in the situation where I could do whatever I want, and then I'll tell people what it is, and they'll get upset with me because it's like, well, that's obviously never going to happen, and it's way better than what they're ever going to do.
Who's the best Family Feud host?
I'm trying to remember that. I think
because you have Richard Dawson.
I don't like how it.
Combs,
I think
Richard Karn, Louis Anderson.
Louis Anderson was fine. Who was the original?
Richard. I think it was
Richard Dawson. Richard Dawson, and then there was a guy after him.
Yeah, something Combs who I think killed himself, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Well, that was the guy that I was raised on.
Okay, that guy. Yeah. I think that's the story behind.
I really liked Richard Karn. I think Steve Harvey does a really good job.
Didn't John Hurley?
Yes.
Hurley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Steve Harvey does a really good job, but you can tell like the questions are just for viral hits.
Yeah.
Like it's like, come on.
Yeah, he really tries to milk that part. All right.
Well, like the questions they ask is just like, why would anyone ask this question?
Yeah. Top 100.
Getting
survey.
busy in the bedroom.
Keenan does a very good Steve Harvey on Saturday Night Live. All right. One final hour ahead. When we come back, we'll check in on the Niners. Niners at 9, do a little division check. It's also Chiefs week, and still to come in the next hour, ESPN's list of top 100 NBA players. We got an update because they have the top 10. We'll tell you what that is in the next hour as well on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sacktown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into three. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BODY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BODY to 42424. That's BODY to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Model year end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
When it comes to fighting for families and protecting kids, no one works harder than our Assemblyman, Josh Hoover. A member of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus, Hoover has worked across party lines and proposed tougher penalties for fentanyl crimes, stricter sentences for drug trafficking near schools, and RILA's law to make sure anyone who abuses a child is held accountable. A former school board member, Josh has fought to support school police officers, prohibit homeless encampments near schools, and increase funding for school facilities. Josh Hoover knows that families have been paying more for everything from gas and groceries to utilities and insurance. In the Assembly, Josh is working to provide relief to families, reduce the cost of housing, and stop Gavin Newsom from raising gas prices even more next year. Josh Hoover is making a difference for our families, our community, and our future. Our voice, our Assemblyman, Josh Hoover.
Paid for by Hoover for Assembly 2024. Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all four arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
The Sacramento State Hornets are back at home this Saturday. Come check out the high-flying Hornets as they host the Weber State Wildcats. It's homecoming, so come check out some great football and stay for the post-game fireworks. That's Saturday, October 19th, as the Hornets take on Weber State, Hornet Stadium, 6 o'clock. Tickets on sale now at hornetsports.com. And remember, Stingers up.
Disturbed live. Oh, get up, come on, get down with the 25th anniversary of the 5-time platinum album, The Sickness. 2 sets, 1 show, The Sickness in its entirety, and greatest hits with special guests, Daughtry, and Nothing More. Friday, May 9th, Golden One Center. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Disturbed live.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
It's been a fun show. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Jason Ross, Christopher Lund, Carmichael Dave off the rest of this week. As we will have Styles and Watkins in later this hour. We'll crosstalk, see what's coming up on their show between 10 to 2. Then we have the Drive Guys this afternoon. Kings basketball tonight. We'll have game night. Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner. I'll be back with Henry this evening for Kings Live pregame. 7:30 game. Boo. It'll be at the Intuit Dome tonight, though. Check it out right here on Sacktown Sports. Remember that, Chris, the first year of Golden One? The thought was, let's get these games at 7:30. Traffic, everybody's so concerned. And zero factor. They changed that after 1 year quickly. It's like, yeah, I think we're going to have to make these games at 7:30 downtown. It's just a different vibe than out at Arco or Sleep Train, whatever it ended up becoming all those years. But, yeah, that wasn't a problem at all. And the way it goes now, I mean, I feel like this is my general idea, and you could speak to it better as someone that has come as covering the game and someone that's come as a fan. I feel like everybody's kind of got their way they get there. And the more people I've talked to, they're like, oh, I always park at this garage. Then I walk here. No, I Uber here. We go here and eat this spot for everybody's kind of got their thing, and it doesn't all match up. And that's why I think traffic really seemingly has been zero issue.
If there's a couple spots too, if you're willing to walk 6 or 7 blocks, like $5 parking.
Right. Then why not take advantage of that? Right. And a lot of it's changed around there for the better. And so, yeah, cool opportunity when the games are at home, including 1 week from today, the home opener, season opener, the Minnesota Timberwolves. It'll be the T-Wolves' second game. They play next Tuesday, but the Kings will open up at home against Minnesota. We'll see if they're ready to go tonight when they take on the Clippers. That's in Los Angeles, like we said. You'll be able to hear that tonight at 7:30. Well, it is. And one more thing basketball-wise, I want to get back to this. We played it once earlier, but it was such an amazing moment last night. Another big comeback in the WNBA Finals, rallying this time. I think it was 15 down for the Liberty, and what's going to become an iconic moment in the closing seconds.
8 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter of Game 3. 4 seconds. Ionescu will heave and hit! And hit! Sabrina Ionescu with the biggest shot in Liberty history.
And one of the bigger shots in WNBA history. They led for about 2 minutes. That's it. Came from 15 down, and now the Liberty 1 win away for moving on and being champions of the WNBA. All right, it is 9 o'clock. Niners at 9. Tomorrow at this time, we'll be talking with the voice of the 49ers, Greg Papa. But wanted to do a little check-in here on the division. We kind of do this periodically, what's going on in the NFC West. And for the 49ers, even with their struggles, here they are at 3-3. And by virtue of tiebreaker, look, they beat the right team in the division because they've already played the Cardinals once, the Rams once, lost to both. And now they've played the Seahawks once, but beating them as them and the Seahawks in a virtual 3-3 deadlock, but the Niners would have the tiebreaker, beating them in the only game they've played. They will play one more time. So if you kind of do a little division survey, everybody in the division is in the minus in scoring differential except for the 49ers. They're at plus 32. But we'll start with the other teams. The Seahawks right now at 3-3, and they started 3-0, and the question was, how good are they? And I think that was a fair question to ask. They had beaten the Broncos by less than a touchdown in Bo Nix's literal debut, right, as a rookie, starting his first game ever. They went to New England and beat the Patriots on the road by 3. And their most comfortable win was the Dolphins, but that was after Tua's injury. Skylar Thompson started. That was in Seattle. They won by 21 points. Personally, I thought one of their better games was the loss to Detroit. They got worked a little bit in the first half, showed up in the second half, made that game more interesting, lost to the Lions, then had a bad loss at home to the Giants. That block kick, that return was the difference there. And then lost to the Niners, where the Niners were kind of going down that similar road, but regrouped and found a way to win that game. And so they are now 3-3. This week, they will play the Falcons this week. And so anxious to see how that game goes for Seattle. That one's on the road. And, do they lose 4 in a row and really start to question themselves? Because after that, they got the Bills, they got the Niners again coming up. They still have the Jets. I don't know in the end of this how much of a threat Seattle's ultimately going to be. And we know the Niners are getting ready to begin their most difficult part of their schedule. But is anyone in that division ripe and ready to make a push? We go to Arizona, who had a nice win. They deserve that, coming back to beat the 49ers at 2-4. They've lost to the Bills. They've lost to the Lions, the Commanders, and the Packers. Their wins are the Rams and the 49ers. They've got great division wins. This week, they will take on the Chargers, and that's going to be Monday night. So how will they look? How ready are they for that game? And, again, the Cardinals, they just seem like they are going to be about a 6 to 8 win team to me. And so that is another advantage for the 49ers. The team I liked going into the year as a possible threat were the Rams, and they have just been gutted and decimated by injuries. They're 1-4. They just had their bye weeks. They're already done with that. But they've lost to the Lions and the Cardinals, had that great win against the 49ers, and since then lost to the Bears and the Packers. So their schedule, they've played 3 good teams from the NFC North and lost to the Cardinals and beat the Niners. This week, they host the Raiders. And to me, if I'm the Rams, and even while they wait for a couple offensive linemen, a couple more receivers, Kupp, and everybody to return, they need to try to stay as close to the pack as possible to see if they can be a wild card team. And it's going to be tough. We had talked about, is it a possibility that the NFC North could have all 4 teams make it? It's possible. I don't know if it's probable. I think the way you look at the NFC overall and the landscape of things right now, a third of the way through the season, I feel like at the moment, there will only be 1 team from the NFC West. That's my gut telling me that. I think we're only going to have, we might have 2 teams from the South. There's 2 in contention right now with the Falcons and the Bucks. You've got the entirety of the NFC North, 4-2 or better. And then the East, the Commanders lead it, but are the Eagles and the Cowboys really going to miss? They're teams we kind of expected to be in there. It's not promised to them. It's not given to them. And the Cowboys certainly have been a major disappointment. They've just laid 3 eggs at home. They've been awful at home. And what's their scoring differential now? Yeah, -42. It's absolutely awful. So I think that's something to watch amongst the NFC overall, the overall landscape there. The worst record belongs to the Rams. They got the most work to do. I think there's reasons for that. The best record still belongs to the Vikings. And the NFC, I would say, has been better or more competitive than I thought it would be. There's more teams in play than I expected. I have always felt that the AFC is better top to bottom, though maybe they're beating up on each other a little bit. And there's still going to be cross-conference games, which have been happening, but will continue to happen. So I think this week for the Niners, being that it's Chiefs week, where the portion of their schedule, if we go over what the Niners are doing right now, this one is important. We talked about it earlier. Is it a big deal if they win? I do, in the sense that they would finally hand the Chiefs a loss. They would not. It's not redemption for the Super Bowl, but it's backing up the Seahawks win. It's validating what you saw, what I saw, and what everybody saw on the first game of the year against the Jets, where you went, okay, this team looks real legit. And there's some reasons why they haven't been as sharp as their game. They've got injuries. That's not an excuse. I think that's a reality. But they don't want to get themselves in a spot where they're too far behind the overall pack in the NFC. I still think they should chase and go for the 1 seed. It might be too difficult, might end up being out of range. But you just keep winning. You keep beating some of these good teams, and people will then consider you as one of those teams to beat. Because right now, this stretch, we mentioned playing the Seahawks last, Chiefs this week, then it's Cowboys, then a bye week, then the Buccaneers, it's Seahawks and Packers and Bills. My goodness. That is just a brutal stretch. But if you are one of the better teams in the NFL, that shouldn't faze you at all. And it's really less about who you're playing. It's about how you are playing. And I think that's what Kyle Shanahan would say. You prep for all these teams. You find out what troubles they give you. But that helps you grow as a group. That helps the front office and decision makers like John Lynch. Hey, do we need to make other moves to help out this roster? Still could be something that he does and they've done in the past. So there you go. That's what the Niners have in Chiefs week. And more on that tomorrow, certainly, as Friday here. We'll recap what happens tonight in Thursday Night Football. But also we'll have Greg Papa on and the 9 o'clock hour right here at Niners at 9 to discuss the outlook for the Chiefs and the 49ers. All right, when we come back, ESPN's list of top 100 ranked players going into this season. We mentioned the 5 Kings have already shown up. The list of the top 10 was unveiled today. We'll let you know what that is and where the Kings ranked overall. We'll kind of remind you of that when we come back on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! On ball, George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
All right, rolling right along here. Sacktown Sports, Jason Ross, Christopher Laud against Styles and Watkins coming your way here in just a little bit. And we'll bring him in for crosstalk. Look forward to that coming up in the last part of this hour. But it is time to look back. We were talking about this yesterday.
How you start.
Whoa, I don't know why that popped up. Talking about this a little bit yesterday about the ESPN list of the top 100 NBA players. And this obviously is a subjective list. This is something that varies from year to year. And for example, I want to give you where the Kings land on this list. The Kings have 5 players in the top 100. Keegan is rated 94th on this list of top 100. You have Malik Monk, currently listed as number 65. DeMar DeRozan, they put at number 45. I think what's interesting is the last two. Domantas Sabonis ends up at number 29. Domantas had an unbelievable year last year. Last year he was ranked 22nd. So if he was ranked 22nd going into the year and had what I think is his best year ever, he went down 7 spots. All right, that can happen. It did happen, I guess, and they put him at number 29. At number 26 is De'Aaron Fox. A year ago, he was listed at 23. So here's where I want to get your opinion or your thoughts, and you can share it on the YouTube, certainly on the text line as well, with their list of the top 10. And again, subjective. You can agree, you can disagree, but it is their list. At number 10, they have Anthony Edwards. I think Ant's ready to have an awesome year. He was 13th last year. Terrific player. Really no problem with him at number 10. At number 9, Kevin Durant was listed at number 7 a year ago. Still is one of the game's great players, one of the all-time greats. They put him at number 9 for the Phoenix Suns. At number 8, ranked 3rd last year, now number 8 on their list, Joel Embiid. So the question is, who's the best center? Well, they have him at 8. We have not heard Jokic's name just yet. At number 7, last year at number 9, so he's moved up this far into his career, LeBron James. I mean, I still think he's just an absolutely dynamic and still spectacular player. Number 6, who a year ago was number 5, Steph Curry. Again, this is the ESPN list of top 100 players. We know in our own office, Chris, we've had debates between Steph Curry and Jason Tatum. That has triggered people in the past, just between those two. So they had Steph Curry number 6, Jason Tatum number 5, and they've actually flip-flop spots. So for whatever reason, that has triggered people in the past here. Who's better, Tatum or Curry?
I've seen some heated arguments.
Heated. That didn't have to be broken up, but close, right?
I wasn't breaking it.
You were encouraging. You were fanning the flame. You're like, let's keep this thing going. At number 4, previously number 8, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Interesting having him at number 4 to me. Number 3, last year's number 1, but now number 3, Giannis Antetokounmpo. At number 2, last year's number 4, Chris, your personal favorite, Luka Doncic. And at number 1, last year's number 2, Nikola Jokic. This example right here is also why I think it's incredibly difficult to do the sports debates of people even of different generations. You know, the who's better, LeBron or MJ, Kobe or, you know, Kareem or Bill Russell, whatever your players are. I just, this is all subjective. I'm not even saying the list is wrong. But how do you decide whether Jokic is better than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Whether Giannis is better than LeBron? Whether Curry is better than Tatum? I mean, what's the decision? What are you basing it on? And so these are lists. These are fun. Why is Fox 26th this year when he had a great year last year and he was 23rd? Why did he go backwards 3 spots? 3 people jumped ahead of him. They were that much better. Why did Sabonis go down 7 spots from having his career year at 22 last year? He was 22. Now he's 29th when he had his best season and probably will have another monster season like that. Again, these are subjective. They're not end all be all, but I think it helps illustrate the point how difficult it is to say who's the best player in the NBA. Chris, if you were asked that question and you had to come up with an answer and said, who is the best player right now in the NBA? What would your answer be? Or who would you want on your team? I don't even know the way
like
to
if there's
phrase
like okay, we're putting all the players into a pot and we're drafting everybody.
I guess, and I don't even know if then that goes to fantasy basketball or if that goes to I'm starting a franchise, but I almost like, yeah, if you have the first pick and you go, I've got everybody out there, who would you take?
I would take Wembanyama.
Okay, but do you think he's the best
No.
player? Okay. So now if I asked it the way I did, like who's the best player? So we're not talking long. You're not building a franchise.
It would be like, okay, if we can have this guy for 1 year,
mm-hmm.
who would you want?
It wouldn't matter age. You're going to assume everybody stays healthy. Everybody's going to play 82 games. Everybody in this mystery. You know, I need to win this season. I've got 1 year. I don't care about next year. That everything's the season's going to end. The basketball will end after this year. So I got 1 year.
I would take Nikola.
Okay.
And I think it's just because he's so good at everything.
And really does make people better.
Yes. And it doesn't feel like there's anybody that can, it doesn't feel like there's a Nikola stopper. Like you're not going to stop him getting his shot up. You're not going to stop him passing the ball.
I'm trying to think if you stripped him clean of Murray, of Gordon, of Porter, like he just had what everyone else would agree would be like, man, they got a subpar starting 5, but they got him. I think you win enough, right? Like you're not going to be a champion.
You're making the playoffs.
I think you could. I think he's that good because he's going to make whatever our version of our subpar starting 5 would be with him, that he just makes everyone that much better because he's going to get them in their spots. I think LeBron is really still close to that. What's interesting is all these great players have even had a taste of some tough years. But like right now, there's a debate on who's the better center, Jokic or Embiid, and they're separated by about 7 spots. I think it was 1 and 8. It's such a tough question. It's so subjective. Let's see. Put Jokic on any team, he makes the other 4 players on the floor better. That's true. That's coming from our YouTube. Yeah, Wemby long-term win this year. Luka, I could see that. I think last year helped the Luka case quite a bit because I said at some point we're going to get there where the league to me has been doing everything they possibly can to put Luka out there. And this guy's the front runner for MVP. He is great. He is. But I wanted him to get to that greatness. They needed to win more in the postseason. Last year really helped that. They finally broke through. They got some series wins. They got to the finals. And, at some point you have to break through. They kind of did. They didn't win it all, granted, but he needed that kind of run that kind of, to me, elevates him. I think a guy like SGA is getting there now. Now there's expectations for the Thunder. He's deemed their best player. He's ranked 4th on here. And if he scores another 28 to 30 points a game, but they get out in the first or second round, he's going to start hearing that. It's still very early in his career. It's not defining him, but that's what happens, right? Is you start to get truly evaluated on what you do in your postseason. And so guys that used to have some of those, like Jimmy Butler was way up on these lists before. He's moved down. I think we've seen Donovan Mitchell way up higher on these lists. And because there haven't been as long of playoff runs, he's moved down. And so I think for the Kings' success, for Keegan, Monk, DeRozan, Sabonis, and Fox, who are all on that list right now in the top 100, some postseason success or getting there and having postseason success would help all of their outlook. Like I saw Hartenstein's in the top, like 70 something. Well, he's a nice player, but is he a top 100 player? Again, subjective. These are all people's opinions, but wanted to round out that list after giving you that the last couple days. All right, when we come back, what to watch? There's some good days, a good day ahead of sporting events that we want to tell you about. We've got that. We still have crosstalk with Styles and Watkins and celebrity birthdays, all before we wrap it up today. All that straight ahead here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday and out the door to a cool start this morning. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds for the afternoon. Temperatures slightly cooler today with highs in the mid-70s. Expect gusty north winds to develop late this afternoon. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat? I don't know. Why? Peer pressure. Oh, good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat. Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
O'Reilly. Need a little help? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Need advice? We've got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Despite having no experience, Gavin Newsom made Jessica Morse his, quote, wildfire specialist. The result? Under Newsom and Morse, insurance rates and utility bills skyrocketed. Millions of dollars were slashed from the state's fire prevention budget. And they were even caught lying about their record, while millions of acres burned and families lost their homes. Now Gavin has chosen Jessica Morse again, this time to run for Congress. We have a better choice. Kevin Kiley. As our congressman, Kevin Kiley has worked across party lines to secure millions for wildfire protection and expand water supplies. And Kevin Kiley's bill to protect Lake Tahoe will bring up to $415 million home to our district to reduce the threat of fires and restore the ecosystem of the lake, delivering results and making a difference. Let's keep Kevin Kiley working for us.
I'm Kevin Kiley. I approve this message. Paid for by Kevin Kiley for Congress.
O'Reilly.
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts in West Sacramento and Town Center Plaza next to Nugget Markets now through October 29th for the Customer Appreciation Day sale. You'll get 2 times O Rewards points on select purchases. Plus, pick up 5 quarts of any Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil and receive a $10 gift card after rebate. And buy one, get one free Coca-Cola products at your Town Center Plaza, O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sacktown Sports.
All right, before we get to what to watch, I'm going to tell you at the end of this, we're going to have a chance for you to win a family 4-pack of tickets to see Sacramento State football this Saturday as the Hornets are back in action Saturday night. Home against Weber State. It's homecoming, 6 o'clock Saturday night. We'll have that family 4-pack at the end of the segment, so make sure you are listening closely before we get to crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. We got what to watch coming up. Chris, I was thinking about this during the break. You had mentioned earlier as a kid you loved to watch Rock and Jock.
Yes.
Do you think if that was brought back today, it would be as good, or is that kind of a kid nostalgia thing for you?
I think if they had the same situation where you actually had NBA players and stars sort of in the upper B to lower A category, I think it would be amazing, but I just don't think that, I don't think we'd ever get Steph Curry in a.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to think.
Actually, I think we'd more likely get a Steph Curry than a LeBron James.
Yeah, and that's probably better for the shooting. So the Rock and Jock part of it, I know it was MTV. What was the music part? Was there anything really to it? Or
I think they just had like
played music in the background.
Well, they had like musicians, and it was more of like a pop culture. It's like a pro celebrity thing.
Gotcha.
The baseball one was also good, or like softball,
like a celebrity softball game.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, so we have similar likes, and this would be before your time, but when I was a kid, one of my favorite things, I love this when they used to have, and I think they brought it back a while back, and I don't know how it would land now, but they had the thing called Battle of the Network Stars years ago. And so
the one that OJ won everything.
Oh, maybe. But back then when you literally had ABC, CBS, NBC, and that's all people could watch. I mean, now we got way more platforms, but they would have, Hollywood stars compete in everything, not bodybuilding, weightlifting, swimming, obstacle course, bike, running, all sorts of things. But it was always fun. I really, really enjoyed that, to see these actors in other areas. But they also had something that I think they could bring back called Superstars. And Superstars was a different version. It wasn't Hollywood. It was athletes. So it was, I want to say like 10 or 12 athletes a week. Maybe that's a high number, but competing in different events. And that was fun to watch. So you're not going to get like a track star running on the track, but they would put the track star in swimming or the biking or obstacle course or some of the other things that they had. And I really, really liked that. That was so many years ago. And I know I saw something recently. I don't know if this was from Superstars, but you've probably seen this, Chris, where it was somewhere on social media. And I don't know when I saw it, maybe in the last 2 months or something. But I want to say the race was the sprint, and maybe it was a 60-yard dash or 100. I don't think it was quite 100. It was, let's see. Well, I know who won it. Let me see. Sugar Ray Leonard was in it. Pele. I feel like tennis, Bjorn Borg, and then Wayne Gretzky. And so you're looking at this lineup, I'm like, and Wayne Gretzky annihilates them. I mean, it's not even close how much he wins by. I got to see if I can find that. I mean, it's not even.
Well, while you're looking for that, I just checked out the 4th annual Rock and Jock Softball Challenge.
Oh, okay.
So for the first, I just got the first 4 batters for one of the teams. Brett Michaels leading off.
Okay.
David Justice, Frank Thomas.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
And Michael Richards. Kramer. From
okay,
Seinfeld.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is that who I'm thinking it is? That's one of the teams.
Yeah, that's the first 4. Oh, and who's batting 5th? Barry Bonds.
Oh my goodness. I just sent you the race. I found it. Watch how much it looks like. It's maybe 60 meters. I don't know, but it's Sugar Ray Leonard, Pele. Yeah, I had it right. Bjorn Borg, and Gretzky just blows them all away. I told you. I mean, it's not even close, and he shuts it down at the end. So I used to love that. I used to love the Superstars. So we got to bring Superstars back. We got to bring.
Well, I will say, to be fair,
Did he
looks
get an
like
early start.
No, it looks like Gretzky has. It wouldn't be surprising if he was in track and field, because the other guy, like Pele's, not even like bent over for the the start.
And in fairness, I don't know the ages of them. I think Pele might have been a little bit older than Borg, and Ray Leonard, I think, are in their prime, but Gretzky just. I mean, it's not close. That's not even close in that race. All right. Well, maybe watch some old footage of that if you like today. But there's plenty of other things to choose from that you can watch today. So what to watch? Well, and listen to right here, Sacktown Sports. We have Kings basketball tonight, 7:30, Kings and Clippers. We talked about it a lot during the show, what we want to see tonight from Sacramento. Just a better overall performance from the starters. I think game 1 and game 2. And I thought it was a really interesting point. If you missed it at 8 o'clock, talking with Sam Amick, he mentioned that he and Anthony Slater are working on a piece for The Athletic on the Kings. And really, after that Friday game in San Francisco last week, where the Warriors won, but the Warriors felt like they weren't as happy with that, as the Kings starters basically outperformed the Warriors main group, and then where the game was lost by the Kings was their deeper bench. So kind of sometimes you need some perspective on these things, but I think the last 2 games, specifically 2 games ago, just a dreadful performance by the Kings. So we'll see if they can play better. Yeah, if they win, that's fine. But it's the last preseason game tonight. That's at 7:30 right here on Sacktown Sports. We've got Thursday night football as you have Sean Payton making the return as the coach of the Broncos now to New Orleans to take on the Saints. And then lastly, we've got Major League Baseball playoffs. Yankees at Guardians as New York leads that series 2-0, and the Dodgers and Mets in a 2-1 series advantage now for Los Angeles. So busy day ahead, a good day to be a sports fan, right? To check out all these things. And now I'm intrigued, Chris, to see if you and I can single-handedly bring back either. Would you rather have Rock and Jock basketball or the softball game?
Rock and Jock.
Yeah, the basketball. What was the other one called?
What do you mean?
The softball one, or was it?
Oh, Rock and Jock softball.
Oh,
they had their own. I want to say they even did a bowling one year.
Okay.
And so there's
bowling was in Superstars too, or Battle.
And I want to say I don't remember what year it was, but with the softball one, there could be like special balls brought out. So I remember one was a granny ball, and it was like you could pick it if you're the batters, and there had to be 3 grandmas on each base. So basically, if you get a home run, you get it like a free grand slam type of thing. And there's one that the pitcher could use with reverse. It's like a reverse. So you have to run the bases the other way.
Wow.
And they kept on getting confused with that. And they have this thing. It's crazy. I remember this. So they have a wall out in the outfield, but there was doors. So you can if it's going over the wall, you can go through the door and still catch it for an out.
I don't think I remember the softball version.
Oh, yeah. It was fantastic. Corbin Burnson was one of them.
Okay. Well, that's why
I want to say that he had a run-in with one of the grandmas.
Were they really? So if you didn't hit a home run, you had to run behind the grandmas,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Who were they anybody just?
It was
grandmas?
It's those actor grandmas that you see.
Gotcha.
The sassy grandmas.
Yes. Oh man. I don't think I remember. I definitely remember Rock and Jock basketball. I don't think I remember the softball version. All right. As we go to break, want to remind you right now, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. It's your chance. You can win the family 4-pack of tickets for homecoming Saturday, Sacramento State, Weber State. Football in Sacramento is here. They're going to have post-game fireworks as well. So Sacramento State in action this Saturday as the Hornets take on Weber State. Hit the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, looking for caller number. We'll go with 3 again. 3 to win the family 4-pack to check out Sacramento State this Saturday, hosting Weber State. Remember, Stingers up. And for more information, visit sacktownsports.com. All right, break time for us. When we come back, we'll have Styles and Watkins in here and a little crosstalk and some celebrity birthdays. That is next.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
It's 4th and goal. The pressure's on. The home team needs this to win it. No matter what you're up against, it's always a win at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Special finance options and trade-in offers make it easier than ever to upgrade your ride. Because at Stockton Honda, we believe everyone deserves a winning deal.
Anytime, anywhere, it's on here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza!
Jigsaw! Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Check out Sacramento State football this Saturday, 6 p.m. versus Weber State.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Yeah, I say thank you for that, Chris. Chris put some smell good cinnamon, right?
Yeah, cinnamon broom. It's a tiny one.
Yeah.
Alan doesn't like it.
He doesn't? Too much for Alan?
Not, no.
Yeah. He's not saying much about it.
I remember he doesn't like autumn.
Musk. I like it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't like autumn.
Well,
your least favorite time.
That's also true. I'd rather the smell of corn dogs and pools.
Okay. Me too, probably, I guess.
Okay. And a request for that air freshener.
But you did the combo like I did. You have shorts and a jacket, short sweatshirt, you know?
I'm glad you bring that up. That always fascinates me.
Well, shorts and a sweatshirt?
Yeah, as people decide like which one they're going to go warm with, it's either the long sleeve up top or shorts. Or pants with the shirt. It's just fascinating.
It's not a
legs don't get as cold.
It's not a plant. No, that's true. That's not true. And mine are pretty muscular, so they hold warm. But my jacket is always in my backpack because of this studio.
Yes.
So it's not I didn't plan out the jacket and shorts. I have this jacket in my backpack every day.
But can I ask you, in that you end up sitting right here, this chair is not particular. It's not as cold over here.
No, because I think
that's
somebody,
you're getting that side right is like Arctic.
Yes.
It's not great.
I don't know what happens here. It's just a weird setup.
And then you get used to it, and I get all hot and bothered during the show.
Intense.
Then you leave the studio and come back in, and you realize, oh, it's freezing.
What's coming up on the show today, guys?
Well. We asked the question whether or not other fans are ultimately just jealous of the Niners and how they got Brock Purdy. If you look at what the Niners have done, take yourself outside of the Niners fandom realm, what the Niners have done over the last decade, and when they were supposed to swing and miss, they still didn't swing and miss. So we talk about that. Devontae Adams and why he wanted to leave Las Vegas. And if anybody's to listen to the show, they know how much I love Bobby Portis. And a lot of people have been clamoring to find a way to get Bobby Portis on the team. Will Z Stats of Sports Illustrated. He gives us a path. You might not like it, but there is a path. So we're doing that at 10:30.
There's got to be some casualties in that.
You're going to have to tune in at 10:30, Jason.
What was the vibe, because it happened during the show, of McBuckets, Doug McDermott?
Talk about mixed like a bag of trail mix. Some people were happy. Some people were kind of ticked off. And then, as always, we ask, well, who did you want? And
right.
Be honest. Yeah, right. Well,
guys,
he might get traded. He might get traded if they don't win.
We did a lot of De'Aaron Fox talk yesterday, too.
In what regards?
A lot of people feel like it's a lot of money for De'Aaron Fox. We say it's the price of doing business.
Patrick Stewart money.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of really. We talked to Whitey about this as well. When it comes to every fan base wants a guy, and it feels like most fan bases will defend their guy as tough as they can. And I feel like out here, people don't really defend De'Aaron Fox like I see other fan bases defending their guys.
Yeah. There's been a theory that I've had that I feel like has held for a long time, but now De'Aaron is there, and I'm wondering if it's happening. And more so because the Kings have not had, in general terms, very much success over 40 years. But the longest tenured, highest paid King is kind of the target. That was Buddy Hield. When they were bad, it was Jason Thompson. DeMarcus got it. Like, it's just, it's De'Aaron now, and if they win, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But, like, if they fall short of expectations, when his contract does come up, I think there'll be some people like, well,
yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much a lot of the argument is, what did he do that deserves it? And everyone that's listed above him has made a deep playoff run. So how is he, how is he going to be the first one that isn't making it that far, but you trust he can? And
yeah,
a lot of factors in it.
Yeah. We did all the top point guards.
Yeah.
And really you have kind of your three that are pretty solid in there with, who was it, Chris? Steph,
Shea, and Luka.
Steph, Shea, and Luka. Then when you expand it and you have the conversation of some of the other guys, the Brunsons of the world, Halliburtons of the world, the problem is you start saying all those names and they all have had, albeit random, albeit because of injury, a random, I think De'Aaron Fox is better than Trae Young. Trae Young had a random Eastern Conference run. So some people will give the edge to Trae Young. So I think that's part of the problem too. All these Ja Morant.
Well, there was
all
a time
these
people
guys,
like Ja Morant's so far ahead of De'Aaron Fox. I'm like, is he? And then now it feels closer just because Ja's missed time. The pushback on the one I would have is, and I feel like I lose the argument, and it's a tough one to make, but is SGA that much better than De'Aaron?
People love him, man.
They do.
He had a huge,
he was listed fourth,
including
best players.
GMs too.
Yeah.
It's the numbers from last year, really. I mean, they relied on him so much last year.
And he was great.
30 points per game.
Yeah.
De'Aaron caught him in steals per game, like the last game of the season. Like, I get it, but
I don't think
I
the
also
gap's
understand what
large,
you're saying.
is
Yeah.
I think almost everybody would take
circumstance.
SGA,
Circumstance does a lot for a guy like Shea in that situation.
But he hasn't had the run hasn't happened for him.
That's true. That's really true.
And at some point, I think that's going to get to that. Like, they now have expectations. Like, if the Thunder finish fourth and go out in the first round, that's a down year for them.
Yes.
Yeah, I will say no. And I'm not moving the goalposts, even though Nate and Chris like to give me a hard time. No long playoff run, but top 3 in MVP voting.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he's a stud.
De'Aaron has neither.
Right. No, True. And sometimes I feel like people just get, I don't know, a little bit of an extra push, an extra nod, just because for whatever reason they're well liked, and not that De'Aaron's not liked.
Right,
I think he's liked, but I pointed out, like, on the list of the top 100, and again, these are opinions. Fox and Sabonis had really good years last year, and they went down.
Yeah.
Like,
Both
why
of them
did Sabonis had a career year, went from 22 to 29?
That one was crazy to me.
And
that one was.
I don't know where
egregious.
he belongs, but it's like, why would he go down 7 spots on a career year?
I was gonna say I'll be nice, but apparently they don't really know either. If you read the write up, it doesn't really explain why.
Yeah, they try and say that it's a projection to what it's going to be like after this season's over, but then in the write ups they'll essentially say, this is really because the Kings haven't had deep playoff runs.
Right.
Like, the reason why
That's
Sabonis
true.
has a great year and falls 7 spots is because he doesn't have. Well, then you're saying that this year isn't going to be the year that they make a playoff.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's the confusing part, is essentially in their projections, they're telling on themselves and saying they don't think the Kings are going to make a run this year.
And I think Ja was 10 spots. Ja and Halliburton were 10 spots ahead of De'Aaron. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. People love Tyrese, man.
They
That's
do.
crazy.
Pajemski was in like
Tyrese
70s.
That was nuts.
That's crazy.
Hartenstein was in there. I'm like, he's good. I mean,
but again, projections, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Where was Kuminga?
I don't know if he was
think
listed.
he made it.
Yeah.
That's
I would
crazy.
imagine if Pajemski's on there, that Kuminga had to have been on there. But
I think the one I saw that was the highest one in the top 100 that wasn't in last year, and I could be wrong, I think is Derek White, but it was like all the way up to like 40 something. And I went, wow, from not being in to
Bronny James.
I mean, Jason, you've been in this game a long. Like this list is almost created to create controversy.
True.
Though,
And
is it
that's-
not?
and
Like
it
it feels
does.
like every single year there's something from this list. And
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Bradley Beal is not actually a top 10 player, but it'll be listed at number 7.
Yeah.
Derek Lively was ticking people off how high he was.
That was pretty high.
Wemby was 11 too. I thought that was interesting.
I asked this to Chris for a lot earlier. So you guys have without like let's put it this way. There's 1 year of basketball. So we're not doing projections. We're not looking past this year. You guys can pick from the entire league who's number 1. So it's not like, Wemby would be a great choice because I'm thinking down the line.
Right.
I just need this year. I've got the whole pool. I'm picking first. Is it Jokic who they list 1? Like, who would you guys pick?
I have a pretty hot take when it comes to Jokic today. And Chris is probably going to be surprised with my answer, and maybe I'm just freaking out right now, and that's what I do. But I might go Luka.
Okay,
I think it's Luka.
Interesting. Okay,
dork.
So you're not interested in winning a championship?
Look, man, I am not even a Luka guy, but 1 year.
Okay.
1 year.
All right.
Man, it's like 30, 10, and 10.
It's pretty darn good.
It's either him or Giannis.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
to me,
I
that's
think
the answer, but
personally
I think
he
he's
needed
been more healthy.
Luka, like I said about Luka needed that run. Like I go at some point, this guy needs to make a run, and he did.
He
they made a
run.
playoff run.
You do have,
And then in the finals,
that's nuts. Cut that yourself. Real quick, the other thing about Shea that I think some people aren't understanding. Well, there was the MVP, top 3 in MVP, and a 1 seed in this West. You had De'Aaron Fox, a 3 seed in what a lot of people thought was a weaker West or not as healthy West. So I think that's part of it. What I don't get about Shea is when you look at other guys, everybody kind of has a thing. I don't really know what Shea's thing is, so that makes me feel like the league is gonna catch up because he's not a grifter. He's not as bad as he's not a full blown Austin Reeves grifter, but he kind of is. So I feel like they're gonna catch up.
Okay, something to watch.
But he might get better.
Yeah. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's get a little celebrity birthdays here. Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than crumble cookies. On this day, October 17th. You get your mind right?
Yes.
I'm going to start with Chris Verlaud's wheelhouse. On this date, in what year did I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Ooh, I got this.
You know that movie?
No.
You don't know that movie?
No, I do not know that.
And then I still know what you did last summer.
Do you want to go first? Just for comedy's sake?
What year this came out?
We're not penalizing you.
Yeah, we'll say it's a Verlad special. 95.
I thought that was pretty close.
I do too.
I must not. It's either. Go ahead, Chris.
No, you're so sure about it.
No, you started first.
I'm going to say there was a weird movie that we had the other day. I'm going to say 1997.
It's either.
You were way off, Chris.
It's either 96, 97, or 98. I think Chris nailed it. I'm going to go 98, though.
Okay, we have a correct answer.
My second one was 98. That was what I was thinking.
Correct answer is 1997.
No!
I would have loved if you got that right. That would have been so great. Happy birthday to Eminem.
Eminem.
He's a grandpa now. Or he's going to be a grandpa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mini Eminem.
That's right. Min Eminem. You can tell I'm drinking this monster.
Yes.
It's going to be a heck of a show.
Yeah.
Eminem. Yeah. I'm 47. I think he's 47.
56.
He is 52.
He is 52.
What in the world?
What's going on over there? Happy birthday to, this is not a great day. Let's see. John Rocker.
Ooh. Oh.
You know him?
Yeah. Throw a fastball.
I'm over today.
That's all right. This is a tough day.
Chris?
He's 49.
John Rocker?
54.
Don't look him up.
51.
Wait, what number did you say?
49.
Oh, we got a tie between the Chris's. He's 50.
Yeah.
Good job,
so
Chris.
bad
You never
the
know.
last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll end there.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Well, guys, have a great show.
Thank you.
The Kings going to win a preseason game tonight?
No. I want them to just get it all out early.
Okay.
And then be hungry.
Hungry for next Thursday.
Hungry for next Thursday.
Hungry like the Wolves.
We're a week away.
Yeah. Hungry for the Wolves.
Yes, hungry for the Wolves. All right, that's it for us. Styles and Watkins coming your way next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown